against him to spy on his 2016 campaign. The current surveillance program is scheduled to expire on April 19th. Meantime, Congresswoman Green meeting with Speaker Mike Johnson for the first time since filing a motion to vacate, setting up a possible effort to oust him as House Speaker over his handling of conservative priorities. Green describing today's meeting as passionate at times, but for now she's not advancing that vacate motion. President Biden and Japan's leader agreed to deepen military cooperation and planning.
The president says Japan is also joining a network of missile defense with Australia.
And are purely about defense and readiness. It's not aimed at any one nation or a threat to the region, and it doesn't have anything to do with conflict.
Still, both leaders say they discussed easing tensions with China and North Korea. Tomorrow, the president of the Philippines joins President Biden and Prime Minister Kishida for a summit on freedom of navigation in the South China Sea.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House, a state dinner planned for tonight. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's going to keep raining, 60 degrees with some rain still working its way through downtown Indianapolis on your radar. You'll have a low of 58 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. Storms expected to bring some strong winds over the next few days, says Joe Neal with the National Weather Service.
Can't entirely rule it out, but it does appear that the bulk of that threat will be off to our east, and we're primarily concerned with localized heavy rain and flooding potential.
Neal says severe weather's expected Thursday. Governor Eric Holcomb headed to Mexico and Brazil for an economic development trip with Indiana's agriculture economy in mind. Reps from the Economic Development Corporation will join the governor on the week-long trip that's privately funded and starts Friday. 6 difference banks in Indy robbed by a mother and daughter. Sierra Hunt went after 4 Chase banks on her own in April 2022 with her daughter Shamia hitting another 2 in October that year with her mom as the getaway driver. Court docs say Chase Bank reported a total loss of more than $26,000 from the robberies. The 2 get a combined 12 years in federal prison. Indiana's one of the least green states in the country, says Wallet Hub. John Herrick reports.
Cassandra Happy is a financial analyst for Wallet Hub.
The study was based on 25 metrics, including air quality, energy efficiency, green buildings per capita, and gasoline consumption.
She says Indiana was ranked 33rd out of the 50 states. While Indiana ranked in the top 10 for environmental quality and air quality, the state struggled with eco-friendly behaviors and climate change. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
There's a primary election May 7th, and you can already vote. Early voting started yesterday, and you can vote early until noon the day before the election. IndianaVoters.in.gov is how you find a place where you can cast your ballot. An eclipse viewing gone wrong. A woman in North Salem was shot on her front porch while waiting for the total solar eclipse Monday. The Hendricks County Sheriff's Office says target shooters from nearly a mile away accidentally hit the 70-year-old with a bullet. She thought it was a bird and was treated at a local hospital, expected to be all right. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
What people suffering from nasal breathing, snoring, and sleep apnea problems want is for their issues to be fixed. And at Advent, that is precisely what we do. Here, there are no Band-Aids, but there is a thorough approach to get to the root of your problem. And in tens of thousands of cases, finding simple solutions, which are undeniably effective, have made remarkably positive impacts on people's lives. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. For years, patients have been traveling literally from around the world to come to us to find what no one else has been able to give them. And that's why now we've come closer to you.
If your quality of life has been diminished because of nasal breathing, snoring, or sleep apnea problems, and you don't know who to turn to, go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
Traffic on the 5s at 3:05. Good afternoon, Matt Bear.
Washington Street downtown, and as we look at Washington Street downtown, we have a report of somebody getting hit by a car near Alabama Street. Southbound 65 stop and go 29th to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 stop and go from West Street to the South Split, and then stop and go traffic as you head up to the Washington Street exit. Traffic sponsored by the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Guys, solve your ED today with an intimacy guarantee only at the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. If you don't perform, you don't pay. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic at 999-9000. That's 999-9000. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And a forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy skies today, some scattered showers, even a few thunderstorms late this afternoon into the evening with highs near 64. Showers and storms overnight, lows near 57. I'm Wish TV storm tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! This just in, inflation is headed in the wrong direction right now. The latest consumer price report just out shows prices up 3.5%. This over same time last year.
Hello, inflation coming in hot, hot, hot. My name is Nigel. That's Jason Hammer right over there. Like she said, inflation surging in March. Consumer prices 3.5% compared to a year ago. They're up, and then inflation 0.4% from last month. That's the wrong direction, I believe. Hammer.
Now, I was told this was transitory.
Really? You were told that?
About 3 years ago,
Yeah,
I was told it was transitory, and we're still dealing with this. Now, if you're somebody that's not economic savvy, so to speak, when we talk about the CPI index, when we talk about inflation, this is fancy talk for you're paying more at the grocery store, you're paying more for gas, and the money you're making at your job is not keeping up with the rising costs of said goods and services.
No.
Look at some of the numbers here. It's kind of staggering. So from January of 2021, when Joe Biden took office, to this past month, where we get the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics from, March of 24, eggs, the cost of eggs, up 47.8%. Butter and margarine, up 49.3%. Gas, up 47.8%.
And rising, by the way.
Groceries as a whole, up 21.1%. And if you want to make, let's say, a road trip, Nige, airfare, and you and I both know this, it's up 32.7% from January of 2021. Going out to eat, up 21.4%. Public transportation, natural gas, used cars, pet food, baby food is up 30.5%.
I love it because Joe Biden is still taking these victory laps when it comes to jobs and the unemployment rate. And here, I'll give you a perfect example. Remember Ron Klain, his chief of staff? He's no longer his chief of staff. Super left wing. We thought Ron Klain might be pulling the strings at one point, running this country for Joe Biden. He's an Indiana product, graduated from, I believe, North Central, but a super left-wing progressive guy. Quote, I think the president is out there too much talking about bridges. He does 2 or 3 events a week where he's cutting a ribbon on a bridge. And here's a bridge. Like, I tell you, if you're going into the grocery store, you go to the grocery store and you know eggs and milk are expensive. And there's a effing bridge. It's just not interesting. That's Ron Klain talking about Joe Biden, how he's concentrating on the wrong thing. When you've lost Ron Klain, your former White House chief of staff.
That's something. When you've lost that lunatic. Overall, prices are up 19.4% since Joe Biden took the oath of office. Here is CNBC earlier today reacting to this hot inflation report.
Hotter than expected, 3.5. This is 3/10 hotter than we looked at in the rearview mirror, 3.2. To find a bigger number than 3.5, you're going back to September of last year when it was 3.7. And finally, what many would consider the most important number, year over year, CPI core, 3.8, hotter than expected.
It's hard for families because there's nowhere you can escape this.
No, I mean, car ownership prices, even parking prices, I'm reading here. Parking prices, car insurance, auto repairs, pet and veterinary services prices have all spiked.
And let's just say you're somebody that says, you know what? I am not willing to spend this much money on going out to eat. I'm somebody that's not willing to spend this much money on taking a vacation or travel. I'm just going to stay home. Well, right now, electricity in your home is up 28.3% from January of 2021.
It's going to be an expensive summer with that air conditioning blowing.
Natural gas, you're up 27% from January of 2021. And again, pet food, baby food, all things you need to take care of your family.
Daycare.
It's all ridiculous. And again, I'm old enough to remember back in 2021 when Biden and that press secretary with the extremely red hair all told us that this was transitory.
Economists call all these things transitory effects.
These one-time increases in prices are likely to have only transitory effects on inflation.
There will be transitory impacts as it relates to inflation.
I believe it's transitory.
Temporary or transitory impact.
In the end, it will be transitory.
These inflation rises will be transitory, that they will come back down next year.
Janet yelling in there. I believe it's transitory.
That's not a woman. That's a man, baby. So even though travel is expensive right now, I mean, let's be honest, people are doing it.
Yeah, people are doing it. People are still going to the grocery. That's why I think, like, these prices that we're seeing right now, they're not going back down. Are they?
They may be going down from the record. And again, this is the oldest trick in the political playbook.
Right.
When a politician, it could be the president like Biden, it could be a local mayor like Joe Hogsett, whatever the bad number is, whether it's the inflation number at the grocery store, or crime numbers in the city, as long as it's not a record, they're going to say it's going down. Even though they were at the helm when the record was reached, it's going down. Nowhere near compared to what it was when the previous guy was the president, but it's not a record anymore. Oh, well, Lottie freaking da. According to a new survey, the best parts of going on a road trip, Nige, you just made a big, long road trip down to Florida. The best parts of the road trip are the scenery and listening to the radio. Do you buy that?
I mean, Alabama was beautiful going down to the Panhandle. I'd never been through the entire state before.
You must not have went through where the university is. It's all toothless hillbillies.
Really? I mean, I went through Birmingham. I went through
And
Montgomery.
I'm not just saying that as a Tennessee Volunteer fan.
I was going to say, does your fandom of Tennessee have anything to do with that description? But this survey says that 73% of Americans prefer to road trip when possible. No. I much would have rather have flown 2 hours to Destin than we drove 8 hours, stopped in Alabama near Huntsville, then drove another 6 hours to Miramar Beach near Destin. So, and I think it was a wash because we spent a few $100 on a hotel to and from, filled up on gas a couple times. And I think tickets were only, one of our neighbors flew down there like last minute to hang with us for a day or two. Her plane ticket was like only $400 round trip.
Which is still way higher than what it used to be.
Sure.
I mean, let's not get it twisted. That's not like some value. But maybe what they're saying here is that 73% of Americans prefer a road trip when possible. Maybe we're not talking about a 16-hour drive. Maybe we're talking about just going to a ball game. Get your buddies in the car. We're going down to Cincinnati.
Okay.
We're watching Cubs and Reds.
Sure. All right. I understand that.
Because I'll do that whenever possible, sure. Is there a cutoff for you of when you decide to drive or when you decide to fly?
And I've made the trip from Indianapolis to Austin, Texas a few times back in the day when I was working down there. It's 18 hours. We drove straight through. It's rough. The cutoff now for me would probably be about 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's either stop at a hotel, have dinner, a few drinks, fall asleep, get back up and drive another 8 hours. I would have definitely rather have flown to Destin. I guess I didn't even know that was an option until you had mentioned it, and it was too late. We'd already planned
they've got an airport there. It's like an old military kind of base. I think they still might use it. The airport's not great, but they take major flights coming in.
Yeah, I think it's season. I think it might be seasonal too.
Okay.
Like the direct flights anyway from Indy.
And according to this survey about road trips, the average person has been on 16 road trips in their life.
Hey, all the time when I was a kid, road trips to Colorado.
Oh,
for 3
man.
days. We had a minivan. And
That's like the Griswold family going out to Wally World there.
I know. It was, but and we didn't have tablets and podcasts to listen to. We had books and just sit and look out at the window. Kids have no idea how good they have it now.
37% of the people in this survey say they've experienced a road trip nightmare.
Well, I know for a fact spring breakers on 65 northbound, it was either on Saturday or Sunday, were shut down for hours near the southern part of Indiana because of a fatal accident.
Oh.
Like they didn't move for hours. That, to me, is a nightmare. Yes.
Matt Bear standing by. Matt Bear, any nightmares on the road right now?
Not so far, except we do have a crash in our notorious work zone just outside of it. In fact, south side eastbound 465 after US at 31, the right lane is closed, causing stop-and-go traffic back to South Meridian Street. That's past 31. Coming into downtown, southbound 65 stop-and-go 29th to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 stop-and-go traffic, Belmont to the south split. Exit north, you will be slow up to the Washington Street exit. And speaking of, report of a person getting hit by a car, that's Washington Street near Alabama. Please be careful out there today. Traffic sponsored by Mr. Quick Home Services. Spring's here, so it's the perfect time to get your HVAC in top shape with Mr. Quick's $49 preseason tune-up. Get ahead of the heat and enjoy comfort all summer. Visit MrQuickHomeservices.com and get your tune-up today. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, we've got some light rain, 60 degrees at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
What if the next time you painted your home was the last time you painted your home?
Our Rhino Shield has been on for 8 years.
Rhino Shield. Call 888-RHINO-41. Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Raju, shades of red, white, and blue. Guarding dreams for all, he believes in you.
Raju Chinthala is a healthcare professional, a successful businessman, and a community leader with experience. Raju is ready to be your next congressman in the 5th District. Raju for you.
Raju, shades of red, white, and blue.
Raju is a family man ready to represent your family with Hoosier values. And he's a man of action, ready to get things done. Vote for Raju Chinthala, Republican 5th District Congress.
Raju, shades of red, white, and blue. Guarding dreams for all, he believes in you.
I'm Raju Chintala, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Raju for Congress.
Business. It's all the things that keep this world turning. And behind every one of these companies is a partner helping to keep it all moving. It's why the local flower shop and your favorite pizza joint, the startup and the stadium, hospitals and hotels, banks and restaurants nationwide all choose the advanced network, cybersecurity solutions, and round-the-clock trusted partnership from Comcast Business, the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
See why Comcast Business powers more small businesses than anyone else. Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for $49 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract when you add one unlimited mobile line. Plus, ask how to get up to an $800 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call to switch today. Ends 5/6/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 100 megabits per second internet and security edge. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Are you looking for new furniture? Now is the time during the once-in-a-lifetime sale only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Hey, this is Spencer Thompson, and I guarantee you the absolute best price on everything from Lazy Boy and Indiana-made Smith Brothers of Bern. Low price guarantee on every sofa, sectional, and recliner, plus free delivery only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus, now through Monday.
Terry Stacy here. Honey Baked Ham isn't just for the holidays. Stop in for lunch and choose from handcrafted sandwiches, salads, soups, and more. Or take home a heat and serve family meal that comes with a home-style main dish, sides, and rolls. Perfect for a busy weekend night and better than fast food. Have a special event this spring? Let Honey Baked cater with sandwich trays or a VIP buffet with all the extras. Honey Baked on West 96th Street in Indy or Greyhound Pass in Carmel makes it easy to serve something special any day of the year.
Waiting on a tax return? Hopefully it ends up in your hands. Fraudulent tax returns due to identity theft increased by 30% in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Our U.S.-based restoration specialists are experts dedicated to helping solve your identity theft issues. And all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package. So we'll reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. Help protect your information this tax season with LifeLock. Save up to 25% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
Say hello to the power, performance, and precision of Ram trucks at Kahlo and Noblesville. The strength and style of Ram, combined with the experience and service you'll only find at Kahlo.
Right now, save up to 15% off MSRP on select in-stock 2024 Ram 1500 Tradesman 4x4 models.
See the massive inventory of Ram trucks at hellokahlo.com or visit the new showroom on State Road 37 in Noblesville.
All rebates and incentives included in final discount. Stock number KCN 240157. Price excludes tax, title, and fees. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for details. Offer ends 4/30/24.
Woodard, Emhart, Henry, Reeves, and Wagner. Over 140 years specializing exclusively in patent, trademark, trade secret, and copyright law and litigation. On the web at uspatent.com.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
My name is Nigel. That's Jason Deemer right over there. This reminds me of this song from Blink-182. There's this dad on social media who started singing the Dr. Seuss book, One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish, in the style of Blink-182. Here's what I mean.
One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, black fish, blue fish, wild fish, new fish. Some are red and some are blue, some are red and some are new.
Yeah! I love it. I'm here for that. Now, I am taking my youngest son to his first ever concert coming up in August. Blink-182.
I thought it was Green Day.
That's a couple weeks after.
Oh, okay.
So we got a little concert lineup coming up. But his first concert, and we got this for his birthday, front row at Blink-182.
You're kidding.
Here in Indy.
Is it a Ruoff?
No, over at Gamebridge.
No kidding.
So
wow,
this is going to be like a total old guy question, right? Because I'm going to be the old guy sitting in the front row with, like, you know, Jacob.
Oh, you'll be standing. You won't. There's no sitting.
Right. I'll be standing, which is fine because I stand anyway. But am I going to go deaf in the front row?
Please be one of those older guys that brings earplugs. Please, like the orange earplugs that you see some dads wearing at concerts. You've got to.
Oh, dude, I'll go next level. I'll look like one of those guys in Top Gun with the big headset on that's bringing in the planes. But I've been to like a million concerts, right?
Please wear like denim cutoff shorts with your New Balance shoes and their white tube socks, you know, pulled up to your knees.
Well, I already told Jacob I'm wearing the MAGA hat to the Green Day show.
Oh,
so
boy.
that's happening.
Get ready to get spit on.
But yeah, man, I've never been front row for a concert. I've been to a million concerts. I've been backstage. I've been on stage. I've never been front row. So I'm just curious what the sound level's like.
I think it's probably the same because, like, I sat front row at Rush in Austin, Texas when I was down there, and I don't think there's a difference. I sat front row with Lenny Kravitz up at Deer Creek, sat front row at but I also sat at the soundboard during the Motley Crue show in 2005 when it was still whatever it was called back then, Conseco or whatever.
Right.
And it was, you know, just as loud as in the front row. I was in the front row, then I went back to the soundboard. I got back and forth. And it may have been even louder at the soundboard.
Okay, because we're front row and kind of like by the aisle. So I don't know, like, am I going to get blown out?
If there's a giant 10-foot speaker to your side, maybe.
Maybe. Well, joke's on you. I can't hear already. So there you go. Great moments in Blink 182 history. That song, All the Small Things, that dad was doing to One Fish, Two Fish.
Yeah.
The Colorado Avalanche in the NHL, the hockey team, it's kind of their thing to have a big Blink 182 sing-along going into the final period.
Really?
Thought I could hear him.
She cares. I go.
And they do that in no music.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, that's kind of their
That's incredible.
sing-along. Now, if you're wondering what some other songs would sound like if they were written by Blink 182,
Yeah.
how about Wonderwall by Oasis?
Today's gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. But I believe that anybody feels the way
I like this better.
about you now.
Oh, that's hilarious. I've never heard this.
The word is on the street that the
So that's Wonderwall by Oasis. And how about Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up?
I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna lay you down.
Is this really Blink 182 singing this?
No, it's a mashup.
Desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Tell a lie and hurt you.
Oh, incredible.
So those are what some songs would sound like if they were originally written and performed by
Sure.
Blink 182. Nigel, you're a big golf guy. You and Rob Kendall, excited for the Masters?
I'm very excited for the Masters. I feel like the Masters, which starts tomorrow, kind of ushers in spring. And then, we're 20 some odd days away from the month of May. And then the next thing you know, we're at IMS watching the Indy 500. And it all starts, to me, with one of the greatest golf tournaments on the face of the earth, the Masters in Augusta, Georgia. Yeah, I can't wait.
Going to put any scratch on your guy,
Yeah.
Tiger?
Yeah, I am. I mean, he's like plus, what I say, 4,500. It might be plus 15,000, actually.
He's on the backside of his career,
Yeah,
so to speak.
But we all know where we were at when Tiger Woods shocked the world in 2019 and won a major.
Right.
In his early 40s, which nobody ever gave him a shot. If you pay attention to golf and you like the Masters, it's like the landing on the moon. You know where you were at, what you were doing when Tiger Woods won the Masters in 2019. I was in my next door neighbor's basement, Scotty and Erica, and we were pounding beers and just having a blast watching this.
You know who's really excited that Tiger's coming back? CBS. Because
Sure.
their ratings go up when Tiger Woods is a part of this stuff. As a matter of fact, they've already got a commercial out.
The Masters. It's a tradition unlike any other. And this year, Tiger Woods is back, doing all the things that made him a champion. He's staying healthy. He's making putts. And he's fornicating with as many women as he possibly can. All types of women. Short women, tall women, thin women, fat women, white women, black women, illegal women.
Whoa, hey!
And we're not just talking about high-end women. We're talking about chicks that work at Kroger and waitresses from Denny's. The Masters, only on CBS.
Can't wait.
Controversial ad there.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
People everywhere are binge watching their money. Now streaming on Lake City Bank Digital. When checking met savings.
Together we make so much sense.
Also featuring the day the spending stopped.
Sometimes saving money just feels so right.
And the incredible shrinking debt.
Honey, come look. Our loan balance is so tiny.
Plus, adventures of the penny pincher.
My journey has not been an easy one, but my budget is going to survive.
Watch new episodes of Your Money unfold every day. Now streaming on Lake City Bank Digital. Learn more at lakecitybank.com/digital. Member FDIC.
Now is the perfect time for you to call the Bath Authority to get your project you've been putting off done this spring. Because the Bath Authority has an unbelievable deal going on. Call today at 317-532-5711. 317-532-5711. Schedule your free in-home estimate and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. That's right. All you got to do is call today at 317-532-5711. Schedule a free in-home estimate with the Bath Authority and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath plus 36 months of interest-free financing. Walk-in tubs, replacement showers, tub-to-shower conversions, and more. The Bath Authority does it all. 317-532-5711 for $1,000 off a new shower or bath plus 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Fellas, there's a lot of people talking about testosterone, but do your homework and go to a provider that you can trust. We recommend Low T Center to get your levels checked. At Low T Center, they make it quick and easy. You walk in and take a simple blood test, and you'll get your results back in about 25 minutes.
If you've been feeling tired, grumpy, have noticed weight gain and loss of muscle mass, you may have low T levels. Go to lowtcenter.com and book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A rainy few days ahead, 60 degrees, rainy downtown. Low temps to the 50s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox for Lake City Bank. Here's what's trending at 3:31. Plenty of rain expected in Indiana the next few days. Storms Thursday could be severe.
Strongest storms on Thursday afternoon and evening. Could produce some small hail, some gusty winds, but even outside of thunderstorms, we're going to be seeing some fairly strong wind gusts during the day on Thursday.
Joe Neal with the National Weather Service. The strongest storms will bring some strong winds and hail, he says. Fatal police shooting in North Vernon yesterday. Officers with the North Vernon Police Department and Jennings County Sheriff's Office responded to a home for a disturbance call. 23-year-old Rachel Blake was seen inside of a bathroom with a knife. Police say they told her to put it down, but she wouldn't listen. She held on to that knife even after being tased, and once she moved towards officers, that's when two of them shot their guns. State police are handling the investigation. There was a shooting at a Ramadan event in West Philadelphia today. Several reports say hundreds of people were there. 4 have been arrested. At least 1 police officer shot their gun. Several other guns were found at the scene. Information still being gathered as to what happened. Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene has threatened to call a vote to remove Mike Johnson as House Speaker in the past. The two met today over their disagreement of funding bills passed last month to keep the government open.
We discussed the omnibus, and I explained all the reasons why he failed as our speaker, as the Republican Speaker of the House. He funded the Biden administration. He funded their open border policies.
Some House Republicans were frustrated over those spending bills, not including policy changes at the southern border. Former President Donald Trump says abortion laws should be left up to states.
Everything about abortion, it was all about bringing it back to the states.
Talking to media in Atlanta today, President Biden says he would like national abortion protections back in place after the Supreme Court reversed Roe v. Wade. It's a combo you may not have known you wanted. Krispy Kreme says they're going to work with Kit Kat on 3 new donut flavors, one being a chocolate-filled donut with cookie dough-flavored cream. If you're worried about your caloric intake, they're only going to be around for a limited time. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:33.
Congresswoman Sparks will be ready for your interview soon.
It seems pretty intense in there.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Maybe I'll take some time before the interview to Google Victoria Sparks and learn a little more about her. Whoa. Have you seen this article?
One aide calling the lawmakers' workplace behavior manic?
Victoria Sparks was #1 on Legistorm's list of worst bosses based on high turnover rates.
Says she, quote, avoided firing aides and instead bullied them until they left.
And the story is based on interviews with half a dozen former staffers.
Yikes. Sparks called staff morons and idiots.
Get this. Victoria Sparks says her working style is, quote, not for everyone.
Well, it's not for me. I think I'll pass on this interview.
I'm Chuck Goodrich. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Go with Chuck Goodrich Committee.
With traffic at 3:34, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, on the south side, it is a crash eastbound 465 after US 31. 2 right lanes are blocked, stopping traffic back to Harding Street, State Road 37. That delay time now, that 25 minutes. It's a crash downtown southbound 6570, just shy of Washington Street. Right lane is blocked, and that's stopping us into the north split. Also putting a drag on westbound 70 from rural. Same with southbound 65 29th on into the north split interchange. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road or on North Shadeland online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy skies today, some scattered showers, even a few thunderstorms late this afternoon into the evening with highs near 64. Showers and storms overnight, lows near 57. I'm Wish TV Storm Tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Okay, so Attorney General Todd Rokita officially filing for re-election. I don't think he should have any sort of problem up against, I believe, Destiny Wells is his challenger on the Democratic side, right? I mean, he boat raced. In 2020, some Democrat named Jonathan Weinzapfel.
Mulva?
Wine's not going to be the attorney general. 61.5 to 38.5. I don't think he should have any problem winning the position as top lawyer here in Indiana again.
And plus, let's be honest, Destiny Wells wants to keep her streak alive of losing every election. So she's really locked in and focused on that. But man, Rokita's one of those guys where he's kind of Indiana's version of the Dallas Cowboys. You either like him and you're a fan, or you can't stand him. There's nobody that's kind of in the middle if you follow politics in Indiana when it comes to Todd Rokita.
We've butted heads before with him openly on the air. He's called in when he was running for Senate, I believe, and he wouldn't do the debate because Abdul, our coworker, called him a liberal college professor,
right,
and wouldn't be fair, which is totally, look, Abdul is probably a little left of center, I'll admit that, but I think he did a great job moderating that debate. So he called in and we argued about that and bumped heads a little.
Right. And I've also agreed with some of the things
absolutely.
that he's done. So let me ask you this, Nige. Again, as somebody who has access to our Twitter account here at Hammer and Nigel, who gets more hateful responses when they come on our show? The Attorney General Todd Rokita or Tommy Lahren from Fox and Outkick?
You'd have to do that per capita because the number of followers, Tommy Lahren probably just because she has millions of followers. But there's probably, when you do the per capita thing, and it's probably pretty even. There's probably a lot of hate and vitriol coming to the Attorney General's way as well.
I mean, it's some just unhinged lunatics that are writing some of these responses. So last night, hundreds of illegals arrived in New York City at Penn Station.
You're kidding.
In the middle of the night, believed to have been sent there from Governor Abbott in Texas. Listen, New York City, years ago, said they are a sanctuary city. The people in New York have voted Democrat multiple times since that election. To me, that says they like it.
They voted for it.
They voted for it. Here they are. I think Texas should send more of them there.
Mayor Adams virtue signaled in 2021. Yeah, we're a sanctuary city. Come on, come all, basically, is what he said via social media.
Chicago did the same thing. Very liberal cities in California have done the same thing. It's real easy to say, we're a sanctuary city, when you don't think anybody's going to call you on your bullcrap. But when people do, when Abbott loads up a bus or DeSantis drops them off, at Martha's Vineyard, then they start getting their undies in a twist. Well, wait a minute. What's going on? You voted for it. There have been multiple elections since, the last couple of years. You voted for this.
Yeah, I love it when they say, we can't handle the influx. You're New York City, dude. You think McAllen, Texas can handle the influx of people streaming through the border? These tiny little towns with an infrastructure not meant for what's coming through the border like it is? Give me a break.
And it's not just Abbott or DeSantis that's dropping him off. It's the Biden administration, too. A review of these available federal records shows that the Biden administration has secretly flown 33,000 illegal aliens into New York City and 326,000 into the state of Florida over the last several years. These are these secret flights that you've heard about. Maybe you've seen a trend on social media, but according to a report by Todd Bensman, the senior national security fellow at the Center for Immigration Studies, the Biden administration has imported more than 800,000 illegals into this country via a program called CHNV, or the Advanced Travel Authorization Program.
And look, I think, there's been millions of illegal immigrants pouring through since Biden became president, and I don't know that they're going anywhere. The plan is to somehow get them to vote, get them, work visas, get them driver's licenses, although having to show your driver's license at a polling station is racist.
Wildly racist.
What are you going to do? You're going to deport 8 million people? These people are here to stay. I got news for you.
Donald Trump, his campaign, he says we're going to have the biggest mass deportation you've ever seen. But I'm with you. It's one thing to say it. It's another to actually do it. Round these people up and send them packing. There's an awful lot of folks that just get dropped off here, and the Biden administration with these secret flights, they're a part of it. Ron DeSantis is the governor of Florida. He was asked about these flights.
First of all, it's an illegal program. They're bringing people in who don't have a right to be in this country from foreign countries. Now, it is secret because they're not telling anybody. They don't tell us anytime somebody comes in. I know there was numbers about who's coming through Miami. What I can tell you is we can't verify that. They don't give us any information on it. But it's secret in the sense, yes, we know the program's going on. We're suing over it. We think it's illegal. We know it's illegal and not constitutional. But they are not coordinating with state government at all.
And if you're wondering how this actually works, okay, so again, this is courtesy of the senior national security fellow at the Center for Immigration Studies. Under Biden's plan, sponsors, and I'm using air quotes there, fill out online applications for the illegals to apply for permission to fly into the United States. So it's kind of like ballot harvesting. They fill out the application for these folks and then just load them up on a plane, and really they can land anywhere they want. But Florida and New York have been the hot spots, Florida receiving, 10 times as many as New York has. So there's a new survey out, Nige. The grossest thing that your partner does, your wife, your husband, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever, the grossest thing that they do, but you accept.
You've just come to accept it, right?
You've just come to accept it. Here are some of the things on the list. Somebody said, my husband picks his teeth with the point of a knife. It's not really gross, but the sound of metal against the teeth makes me cringe.
Yeah, I'd be getting a divorce right away.
Here's another one. She bites huge, cartoonish chunks out of the cheese we have in the fridge.
It's kind of funny.
Right. Here's one, and this is where I'm going to call out the coupon lady. This is something my better half does. Leaves Q-tips everywhere.
Used?
On the nightstand, next to the water bottles.
Coupon lady, what are you doing?
The Q-tips, it's the island of misfit Q-tips all over the place.
Like earwax and crap on them?
I mean, not as bad as like probably mine if I cleaned it out. But
coupon lady, what are you doing here?
What does Lindsay do?
You know what? I'm going to be careful here. We both do this. This is on the list, and we both do it. Forcefully kind of gag ourselves when brushing our teeth to remove the phlegm.
You're a toothbrush gagger.
I'm a toothbrush gagger.
Okay.
And I can hear her doing that in the bathroom too, with the door closed. Just I'm getting all up in it, right? And sometimes I accidentally gag myself with the toothbrush. And now Lindsay would say for me, again, grossest things I do but you just have to accept, like when I shave the remnants and I use the electric razor to trim my beard, I honestly try the hardest to clean up after myself, but there's still little traces of my shavings, stubble. I can't get rid of it all. And every time she yells at me for it, I cleaned it up. I'm sorry. And then she'll have me come into the bathroom and point right to a pile where I missed, of course.
Point the one section out that you didn't clean.
Right.
I think Crystal would say for me, if I'm sitting on the couch or something and I'm just barefoot, like basketball shorts on or whatever, and I realize I've got a long toenail or something, I'll just yank it off. I'll just get down there, crack it, and rip it off.
I hope at least you get your ass up and throw it away in the garbage can.
You'd think.
Another one on this list. Check out number 7 on this list of gross things your spouse does, but you've just come to accept it. She sucks her tea bags dry.
That's why I married her. I mean, the joke writes itself, people.
I've never actually sucked a tea bag before. Let me try it right now.
Allison, there's a promo, by the way. Just put that in the Nigel soundboard that we can use one day.
If you're watching on the YouTube stream, I am drinking some tea right now.
Okay, so Nigel's going to try to suck this tea bag dry on the YouTube stream right now. He's got his cup of tea up to his mouth. The tea bag.
Dry. That was good.
Really?
That was awesome. I can see why people do it.
You're really good at that, Nigel.
I've discovered a new talent.
Boy, the jokes we can make right now, but we're afraid to make. So let's open it up. 239-9393.
Now what do I do with this?
What is something your better half does that's pretty gross, but you've come to accept it? Like, it's not even worth fighting about anymore. It's just going to happen. 239-9393. Ladies, rip on your husbands, your boyfriends. Dudes, your wives, your girlfriends, whatever the case may be. 239-9393. What's something you've just accepted that others might find kind of gross? Your call's next.
How would you like to get a 13% bonus when you invest your money? And not only do you get a 13% bonus, you'll also get an annual return that's averaged 7% a year for the past 10 years.
Hey, it's Kendall and Casey. Discover how you can get an upfront 13% bonus plus a competitive annual return that's averaged 7% a year for the past 10 years. Learn more from the retirement guy we trust, Bill Demery in Indy. Just call 317-932-9912.
This is such a no-brainer for me. You get an upfront 13% bonus plus a competitive annual return that's averaged 7% a year for the past 10 years. And it's backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world.
So call Bill now at 317-932-9912. 317-932-9912.
Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
If you're unaware, T-Mobile calls themselves the uncarrier, which is fitting considering they've just unraveled their price lock guarantee for new customers. If you ask me, that's pretty uncool. If you're uncomfortable with a company that says one thing but does another, then switch to Xfinity, whose whole home Wi-Fi, wired internet, service, speed, and reliability are unparalleled. Unjoin the uncarrier. Switch to Xfinity today. Now through April 21st, new customers can get 300 megabits per second Xfinity Internet for $35. And ask how you can save 40% over T-Mobile in your first year. Switch today. Go to Xfinity.com/TMOFax, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto-pay with stored bank account and a 1-year contract. Connect more internet versus T-Mobile Home Internet, $60 a month. Regular pricing applies after promo period. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary. Effective for new customers after 1/17/2024. T-Mobile's price lock will only reimburse your last bill if you terminate service due to a price increase.
Rape, murder, and human trafficking. We've all read the stories of the evil crossing this border. I'm Mike Speedy, running for Congress in Indiana. So why am I at the U.S.-Mexican border? Truth is, Biden's failures put every town at risk. Drugs and criminal cartels are pouring in while politicians do nothing. I've witnessed the unused materials for Trump's wall and visited with law enforcement on the front line of this invasion. I am running for Congress because it's time that we have leaders who will join President Trump to finish this wall, send troops to stop this invasion, and secure our southern border once and for all.
Mike Speedy is an America First conservative leader. Speedy has endorsed Donald Trump because he knows we must return President Trump to the White House to secure our border. And Mike Speedy is the pro-life, pro-Second Amendment champion we can count on to protect our values and keep us free.
I'm Mike Speedy. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Speedy for Congress.
This year, your home improvement experts with B Window are partnering with Sullivan Hardware and Garden to help beautify your home. We're proud to partner with B Window, offering lifetime warranties, quality products, and exceptional customer service. Now offering 50% off all products, plus 20 months, no interest, no payments. And for a limited time, Sullivan Hardware and Garden will add a $500 gift card for all qualified projects completed with B. Join our partnership. Call now or go to bwindow.com.
Attention, Indiana homeowners. Are you tired of avoiding your wet basement? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swanco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts. Imagine all the possibilities of a guaranteed dry basement, a cozy new family room, a home gym, or even a new office. And with no interest, no payment financing, you don't have to break the bank to do it. Make the most of your basement today. Call Swanco 317-407-1868 or swancollc.com.
Indy's leader in patio installation is now offering a new driveway package. Schedule a free estimate today at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Don't stress about plumbing repairs. Call LD Smith for honest advice and a free second opinion on any estimate.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake kitchen and bath cabinets. Visit Drexel's new design center on 146th Street at River Road or on North Shadeland. DrexelIN.com.
Matt Bear's got to look at the roads.
All right, Hammer, it's not even 4 o'clock and rush hour is cooked. We're looking at eastbound 465 on the south side after 31, and this is a crash blocking 2 right lanes, stopping traffic past Man Road. Delay time is 54 minutes to make it through that stretch of several miles. Downtown crash, southbound 6570 of Washington. It is a semi-crash. It's blocking the right lane of the through traffic portion of southbound 6570, jamming us into the north split. That stops westbound 70 after Emerson Avenue. That stops southbound 65 from MLK. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake kitchen and bath cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road or on North Shadeland. Online at DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
60 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. And the question is, what is something others would view gross that your significant other does that you've just accepted it? Okay, we opened up the phone lines. If you're on hold, please turn your radio down. Please keep it brief. Bill, go ahead. What's up?
Hi, Jason. This is kind of weird, but I brush my teeth and sling toothpaste everywhere. I get overzealous with it, and it drives my significant other nuts. There's toothpaste on my hands, on my shirt.
On the mirror.
But she has accepted it, so there you go.
Okay, as long as it's brushing your teeth and not going to the bathroom that it gets flung everywhere, then I think we're okay there. Matt, what's up, Matt?
Oh, my wife has got this thing where she'll use any toothbrush she can find. It could be mine, the kids, the dogs, one I clean shoes with. It's disgusting.
Oh, yep.
Nigel's nodding his head. He gets it. Rob, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
Yes, this may cause me a divorce, but my better half continues to go to the bathroom, cannot unclog the toilet, and continues to go time and time again.
Do you have to go in there and unclog it for her?
Yes, I do.
So wait. She drops a giant growler in there, and you're the one that's left to clean up because she doesn't know how to plunge it?
Yeah. It's not good. The hanger's in the garbage can.
Got it. Thank you, Rob. Now, Allison, there was somebody that called in that didn't want to go on the air because his voice would be recognized, but passed the story on to you.
Yeah, it's one I wasn't expecting. He said his wife has a prosthetic leg, and once a month she removes it and uses a knife to carve off the callus at the end of what I am quoting, her nub.
So she takes off her fake leg in bed, takes a knife, cleans the nub, and nub shavings are left in the bed.
Oh, man. Smells like a fake leg.
I can't stop laughing at that. Michelle, you're up next. What's up, Michelle?
Okay, I think this is probably going to get the best award for the most gross. But my husband chews tobacco, then he picks his teeth with a toothpick and then puts it behind his ear. And stays all day long.
Why behind the ear?
It is nasty. I do not know, but I'm still having trouble after 21 years.
Yeah, I would probably say it's time to make some different decisions in your life.
Yeah, he needs to rethink those life decisions a bit.
Thank you, Michelle. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Raju, shades of red, white, and blue. Guarding dreams for all, he believes in you.
Raju Chinthala is a healthcare professional, a successful businessman, and a community leader with experience. Raju is ready to be your next congressman in the 5th District. Raju for you.
Raju, shades of red, white, and blue.
Raju is a family man ready to represent your family with Hoosier values. And he's a man of action, ready to get things done. Vote for Raju Chinthala, Republican 5th District Congress.
Raju, shades of red, white, and blue. Guarding dreams for all, he believes in you.
I'm Raju Chintala, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Raju for Congress.
Hey guys, it's Rob from my friends at Universal Windows Direct, and man, they just have an incredible deal going on right now. You can't beat it. Call Universal Windows Direct today at 317-659-7574, and for every 2 windows you buy, get the next 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. Buy 20, get 20. There's no limit. Plus, they'll upgrade your new windows to triple pane glass for free. That means extra protection from the elements, a consistent temperature in your home, increased energy efficiency, and reduced heating and cooling costs, plus a quieter and more comfortable home. And in addition to these incredible windows, they're giving you such a great price, Universal Windows Direct, right now when you call 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574 to schedule your free in-home estimate today. Buy 2, you get 2 free. Plus, yes, there's more. If you mention my name, Rob Kendall, you get $250 off your project. Universal Windows Direct, tell them Rob sent you.
Let Bill Estes put you behind the wheel of the powerhouse brands that define American toughness. Ford, Chevy, Ram, and GMC.
Get 2.9% APR for 72 months on all GMC Sierra 1500s, plus $2,000 customer cash on 6.2-liter Sierra Denali's.
Unleash the power of the road with Bill Estes Trucks. Find the location near you and see their inventory at BillEstesTrucks.com.
Financing for well-qualified buyers. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. See dealer for details.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Hi, honey. Mom, I'm glad you figured out the video call. What's all that noise?
Oh, that. Your room will soon be a fitness studio.
My room? What?
Yeah, it's the home equity line of credit from Lake City Bank. The low fixed rate is helping us get things checked off our list. Oh, honey, the hot tub is here.
The what? Mom?
Use Lake City Bank's home equity line of credit for anything you need, even hot tubs. Learn more at lakecitybank.com or visit a branch near you. Subject to credit approval and equal housing lender.
Tony Katz here for Premier Arms in Brownsburg. This is your premier gun store. Premier Arms has the experience and know-how to help the new gun buyer and the most experienced marksman. They've been in business for over 20 years and have a friendly, knowledgeable staff that wants to help you, not talk down to you. Premier Arms in Brownsburg is family-friendly, so bring the kids. All ages are welcome. Everyone can find what they're looking for at Premier Arms in Brownsburg, 3754 South Green Street. Online at premierarms.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. premierarms.com.
Your local news coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis.
A shooting at a Ramadan event. Lisa Brady, Fox News. It happened in Philadelphia where hundreds were gathered in a park for an Eid al-Fitr celebration, marking the end of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan, though it's not clear whether the event or anyone attending was an intended target.
This could be gang violence, and it just happened to be at a park where there was an event, or this could have been targeted. We simply don't know yet.
Fox's Brian Yanez. There have been early reports of multiple people shot. Sources also telling Fox 29 in Philadelphia that several people have been arrested and multiple guns recovered at the scene. Also just getting reports of a deadly knife attack in the French city of Bordeaux. Police sources telling BFM TV one person is dead, at least one wounded, and that the attacker was killed by police. There's no word on a motive. President Biden says he still believes the Fed will cut interest rates this year, even after another hotter than expected report on inflation.
President Biden says rate cuts could be delayed after inflation rose beyond expectations in March.
We have dramatically reduced inflation from 9% down to close to 3%. We're in a situation where we're better situated than we were when we took office.
The Consumer Price Index was up nearly 0.5% in March, and year over year, the inflation rate is 3.5%, according to the Labor Department.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The Dow down 422 points at the bell. That is off the session lows. House Republicans plan to meet at this hour on the path forward for FISA, a surveillance program U.S. intelligence officials call vital for national security. Reauthorization of Section 702 failing to clear a procedural hurdle today, 9 days before it expires. Some critics on both sides of the aisle arguing proposed reforms don't do enough and should include warrants to access the data of Americans collected during surveillance on foreign targets. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Storms sticking around. Rainy 60 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Radar shows that rain will hang around through this evening. Low of 58 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. Rain is likely going to impact your drive home today. Severe weather is possible Thursday.
As we go into tomorrow and tomorrow evening, some of that does start to move up into the area as the low itself shifts up into the Midwest. Can't rule out that we'll see a localized strong thunderstorm here or there.
Joe Neild with the National Weather Service says some parts of the state could get some hail and strong winds. Flooding could also be a concern in low-lying areas. Indiana's Attorney General's filed a lawsuit against the manufacturers of certain toxic chemicals. Donnie Burgess reports.
These pervasive substances are referred to as, quote, forever chemicals.
State Attorney General Todd Rokita Wednesday announcing a new lawsuit against the creators of PFAS chemicals. They're tough, toxic chemicals that resist things like heat and water, which means they can basically stick around forever. Rokita's office says over 20 counties have unacceptable levels of contamination.
Exposure to PFAS may lead to numerous negative health effects such as cancer, infertility, and childhood development issues.
Rokita says his lawsuit is designed to hold the companies accountable and make them pay up. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A trip to Mexico and Brazil is on Governor Holcomb's itinerary. He heads out this Friday with a few people from the Indiana Economic Development Corporation tagging along. The hope is to find some partnerships that would benefit agriculture in Indiana. The trip is privately funded. Air quality and energy inefficiency were two things that the organization Wallet Hub looked at a recent study. John Herrick reports on how Indiana stacks up.
Wallet Hub says Indiana is one of the least green states in the U.S., coming in at 33rd out of the 50 states. As for the states that are the most green,
California ranked number 1, followed by Vermont, New York, Maryland, and Washington.
Wallet Hub financial analyst Cassandra Happy says Indiana was ranked 8th in environmental quality and 2nd in air quality, but struggled with eco-friendly behaviors and contributions to climate change. Wallet Hub says the least green state was West Virginia. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
Early voting for the May primary started yesterday. IndianaVoters.in.gov is how you find a voting site if you're registered and have that photo ID. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Sinus pain. You know it all too well. It's constant. It's frustrating. The pressure, the headaches, the snoring, the constant clogged feeling. You're tired of feeling like this, but you've tried nasal sprays, over-the-counter medicines, even home remedies. No matter what you try, nothing gives you lasting sinus relief. You're tired of missing out and feeling miserable. There is something you can do. Something different. Indianapolis Sinus Center. The physicians at Indianapolis Sinus Center have been serving the community with proven treatments for over 50 years. They know what you're going through, and they're standing by ready to offer you the best treatments to provide long-term relief. Breathe better. You don't have to keep suffering from sinus pain. Call Indianapolis Sinus Center today at 317-528-9650 and take the first step toward relief. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650 or go to IndianapolisSinusCenter.com.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, looking at the south side, a crash eastbound 465 after US 31 East Street. 2 right lanes are blocked, and traffic is now stopped all the way back to I-70. Our delay time has ballooned to 52 minutes. Downtown crash, semi-crash on southbound 6570 of Washington Street. That's blocking the right lane, jamming up traffic into the north split. As a result, westbound 70 comes in stop and go from Emerson Avenue to the north split, and southbound 65 fully loaded, barely moving in parts from the White River down to the north split. Eastbound 72 downtown delayed before Holt Road. That's after Sam Jones all the way into the south split. You exit northbound 6570. That's stop and go up to Washington. Crash east side 21st to Cumberland Road. Traffic sponsored by Direct Auto. Car insurance too expensive? It's time you rolled with affordable coverage. Stop compromising. Keep driving with Direct Auto. Get a free quote at directauto.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Widespread rain and storms expected tonight with lows in the mid-upper 50s. Then we're in for a rainy and windy Thursday with highs only in the low 60s, with wind gusts by Thursday night pushing to 30 to 40 miles per hour. We're also tracking some localized flooding concerns too. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! My name is Nigel. That's Jason over there. Allison, can we get right into it? Can we do it? Let's don't waste any more time. Let's get into some legal stuff. Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff. Remember Michael Avenatti?
Creepy porn lawyer,
yeah,
right?
Stormy Daniels' lawyer. The guy that was, that CNN crowned the next president of the United States. And it turns out he's a big fraud.
Oh, it wasn't
incarcerated.
Just, those guys. Remember the thumb, Brian Stelter. I thought Brian Stelter wanted to marry him. The thumb was in love with with Michael Avenatti.
Doing time in jail now for trying to blackmail, what was it, Nike or something?
Trying to shake down Nike.
Yeah, not a good idea.
So, creepy porn lawyer, as Tucker used to call him, Michael Avenatti, he kind of broke off a surprise phone call to MSNBC last night. They were talking about Donald Trump's hush money case against Stormy Daniels. And if you remember, Avenatti was the representation for Stormy Daniels. That did not go well. There was a really bad breakup there, and Stormy accused him of basically stealing a lot of her money. So Avenatti, who was convicted of defrauding former client Stormy Daniels and also trying to shake down Nike, he called in last night, and I got to be honest, I didn't see this coming. He said that the hush money case was stale.
The New York trial now will be Donald Trump's first and possibly only trial this year. How do you assess the strength of the prosecution's case?
Well, I think what I'm about to say is going to surprise a lot of people, and that is that, I think this is the wrong case at the wrong time, Ari. I think that the case is in many ways stale at this juncture. You're talking about conduct that occurred some 8 years ago. I think the fact that it's occurring in state court in New York is a mistake. And I think that when you are going to potentially deprive tens of millions of Americans of their choice for the presidency of the United States, whether we agree with those folks or not, or regardless of what we may think of Donald Trump, I think it's a mistake to do it based on a case of this nature. Now, I know a lot of people have been critical of the United States Supreme Court and as well as the D.C. Circuit.
Yep.
You know, I think those complaints are frankly misplaced.
So I believe it was the late, great Vince Lombardi that once said, and I quote, "What the hell's going on around here? I hear Michael Avenatti calling into MSNBC from prison to defend Donald Trump and the Supreme Court."
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Did not have that on my bingo card.
Not exactly a credible source here. I mean, no matter what he says, like, who cares what Michael Avenatti thinks? Why did MSNBC have Michael Avenatti on from prison? The guy is a pathological narcissist sociopath.
They probably took the call because they thought he was going to crap all over Donald Trump.
That's a good point. Yeah, well, I mean, that was the whole idea. That's why CNN, again, crowned him the next president of the United States. And the only reason they had him on so many times is because he embarrassed Donald Trump when he was still Daniel's lawyer.
So if you remember when Trump was feuding with Avenatti and the whole Stormy Daniels thing, it wasn't just MSNBC. It wasn't just CNN. Most of the national media outside of the conservative few were quick to appoint this guy the next president of the United States.
He's out there saving the country.
Don Meacham says he may be the savior of the republic.
You are something of a folk hero now.
People all like you.
Donald Trump is terrified of Michael Avenatti.
One reason why I'm taking you seriously as a contender is because of your presence on cable news.
You look at the field of Democrats right now, and Avenatti's the one who stands out.
If they decide they value a fighter most, people would be foolish to underestimate Michael Avenatti.
Lately, to me, you're like the Holy Spirit.
Wow.
That was The View.
It sounded like somebody on The View would
Anna
say something
Navarro
like that.
calling him the Holy Spirit just because he didn't like Donald Trump.
Wow.
And now he's in federal prison.
I remember his lawyers. I remember he did this interview with Vanity Fair, and behind the scenes, his behavior was even more volatile, according to Vanity Fair. He had a terrible temper, one primetime anchor told me. Bookers or the people who were behind the scenes were the brunt of his belligerence. He would tell people, I'm going to effing bury you. Why the F would you do that if he didn't like something? This is just all from a Vanity Fair article of which you think that would be a friendly place. But that guy was clearly, CNN knew how unstable this guy was and still gave him a platform, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right. He was unstable, but he crapped on Trump.
Yes.
So they were willing to accept it. Doing some legal stuff here, a Florida woman has been sentenced to a month in jail for selling Joe Biden's daughter's diary. Now, if you remember this story, Amy Harris pled guilty to a conspiracy charge, admitting that she received $20,000 of the $40,000 that was paid by Project Veritas for personal items belonging to Joe Biden's daughter, Ashley. Now, Ashley Biden, in this diary that somehow Amy Harris got a hold of, in this diary, she writes that Joe would take showers with her and that she thought that it was inappropriate. And at one point, she questioned if she was being molested. That was all in the diary.
And so the woman that sold the diary or found it and sold it is going to jail? The Bidens are going after everybody. I mean, the guy that found the laptop, or actually the guy that owned the computer shop where Hunter Biden's laptop, where he just left it. He is, I believe Hunter is suing him for invasion of privacy, thus confirming ownership of said laptop.
Right.
The Bidens, they're cold and calculating, man.
So for this story, if you're looking for like the Cliff's Notes version, Joe Biden's daughter wrote in a diary that her dad took showers with her and questioned if he molested her. Somebody found it, sold it to journalists. Those journalists were raided by the feds, and Biden's Department of Justice put the person who found it in jail. Nothing about the creepy old guy showering with his daughter and maybe not molesting her. Again, not my words. That's in the diary. One more hit of legal stuff here. We have an update on the Morgan Wallen arrest in Nashville, where he went up to the 6th floor of a bar above Broadway and threw a chair off, and it landed near a police officer's vehicle. So he got hit with 3 felony counts of reckless endangerment. Each one of those felony counts in Nashville, in Tennessee, carry a potential sentence of up to 15 years in jail.
Please.
Here is Judge Ashley Wilcox of Court TV.
In Tennessee, the law provides that neither intent nor actual harm have to exist to be found guilty of this charge. A defendant can be found guilty if they showed a disregard for public safety that should have been adhered to, and that disregard then posed a risk to others. This felony can result in a sentence of 1 to 15 years in prison per count. Note that in 2020, Wallen was arrested for disorderly conduct and public intoxication, and during the pandemic, he was also criticized for being seen out in public without a mask, drinking and hugging others. So as a judge, here are my thoughts. I would take all of these things into account. Having fun is one thing, crossing the line and conducting criminal activity is another, and your track record will play a role in determining consequences once convicted.
I mean, is he going to do a day in prison or jail or whatever?
No, of course not. But what's odd to me is the way these people are talking and, flaming Morgan Wallen. They're angrier at him than they are the trans shooter in Nashville that left the Tranifesto.
We still haven't read that, have we?
No. We're too busy being mad at Morgan Wallen to get to the bottom of that. All right, Matt Bear, what's going on?
Southside crash clear, eastbound 465 after US 31. Traffic is still there because it just cleared, and we are jammed up back to Kentucky Avenue a little bit beyond. Traffic at the front of the line is clearing out as we speak. Crash still active, southbound 6570 downtown. This is at Washington Street, and it's a semi-crash blocking the right lane, jamming us up into the north split. That slows down westbound 70 from Emerson Avenue into the split. It also slows down southbound 65 from the White River to the north split. Those southbound lanes traveling with a 46-minute delay right now. Eastbound 70 loaded before Holt Road all the way into the south split. Traffic sponsored by the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Guys, solve your ED today with an intimacy guarantee only at the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. If you don't perform, you don't pay. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic at 999-9000. That's 999-9000. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
You've seen Morgan Wallen's mugshot after he threw the stainless steel 20-pound chair off the rooftop of the bar, haven't you?
That big bleep-eating grin.
I mean, it looks like somebody just threw a bra on stage, and that's got this big smile on his face. Like he just saw a pair of boobies.
Boobies!
That's literally the mugshot. He's having the time of his life.
Maybe somebody does need to teach this dude a lesson, though. I mean, come on. Right now, it's 59 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Coming up in about 30 minutes, something we haven't done in a while, we're going to write a negative campaign ad, a negative political campaign commercial about one of you folks listening to this program. So that's coming up in about 30 minutes. If you've ever wanted to be the subject of a negative campaign ad, we're going to have fun with that coming up in about 30 minutes. But up next, get ready for laughs, get ready for fun. It's America's fastest growing game sensation, Is This Anything?
According to a 2023 Gallup poll, 71% of non-retired adults are worried about retirement saving. At Howard Bailey Financial, we don't believe retiring with confidence should be guesswork. In fact, our mission is to help you gain clarity and purpose and elevate meaning in your life through personal and practical financial strategies. That's why we provide our Retire with Purpose toolkit at no cost. In it, you'll find valuable information on minimizing taxes, maximizing Social Security, and building a retirement income you won't outlive. To receive your complimentary toolkit, text CLARITY to 866-482-9559. Take a step toward a more confident retirement with Howard Bailey Financial and text CLARITY to 866-482-9559.
This endorsement was not provided by a client of Howard Bailey. This individual was compensated for this endorsement. For more information, visit howardbailey.com/TS1.
Jefferson Shreve stepped up to fight when no one else would. He put it all on the line. And the liberals smeared him for it with ads like this.
Donald Trump and Jefferson Shreve. He's an original supporter of Donald Trump.
They attacked Shreve for being a conservative.
Jefferson Shreve, an A rating from the NRA.
Attacked him for being a loyal Republican.
Look who was there, Jefferson Shreve. He was proud to be on the Trump campaign and proud of his own A rating from the NRA.
All because Shreve would get tough, back the blue, and stop the crime. But we don't have to accept their lawlessness at our border, in our suburbs, in our state. Because Jefferson Shreve is running for Congress, and he's a fighter for law, order, and a secure border. Jefferson Shreve for Congress.
I'm Jefferson Shreve, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Shreve for Congress.
Attention seniors, you're invited to the grand opening of Centerwell Indy West. Centerwell offers primary care centered on seniors, so come celebrate on Thursday, April 18th at 5115 West Washington Street in Indianapolis from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's office and meet the care team. For details, call 317-754-7291 or visit meetcenterwellindiana.com.
Hey, it's Big Joe for Absolute Comfort, your trusted independent American Standard Air dealer. And owner Chris Wedekin sells the Mitsubishi Electric Mini Split, a great option for heating and cooling where ductwork can't be installed.
If you have one of those homes that has baseboard heat or electric heat, ceiling cable heat, these can be specifically designed for those houses because in those houses it's very difficult having to do all the construction and remodeling that goes with adding ductwork into those types of homes.
Find out more by going to AbsoluteComfort.org. Absolute Comfort is your trusted independent American Standard Air Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer.
Are you over 30 and putting off life insurance? It's time to get a quick quote from Ethos. A better, easier way to get term life insurance. All online with no medical exam. Answer a few health questions and you could be approved for up to $2 million. Isn't it worth 10 minutes to help protect your family's financial security? Ethos. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble with Chip Wood.
Our owner?
Free oil changes along with alignment?
On any four-tire purchase.
Michelin's up to $200 off?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. And what do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Michelin's and save up to $200 more. See store for details.
Hammer and Nigel presents.
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Hammer, how do we play? Is this anything?
I'm going to run a few different stories by you. These aren't headline stories. These are kind of back page things. So you're going to break down all of the information presented and give us a verdict. Is the story really anything or not? We start with this. A man in North Carolina was arrested after he was caught having relations with an 82-year-old woman's car. She'd been noticing some damage to her car for several years, but this guy was finally caught in the act, making sweet love to her 2008 Toyota Avalon. Here's the owner of the vehicle, Carolyn, explaining how the police caught this pervert.
They caught him on camera. They came Monday morning, and they took the films out, and they come back to the door and said, we got him this time. She said, we got good films, we got good pictures, but it was more than we really wanted to see, so.
Yeah, this is something, I mean, boy, talk about taking it up the tailpipe. This part, the 82-year-old woman wanting to live the final years of her life, the golden years, in peace. And this guy was doing this for 3 years, and they were only finally able to catch him. He would climb up on the hood of her car and start treating his body like an amusement park. There is a condition for this. It has a name called mechanophilia, defined as a sexual attraction to a machine or a vehicle. He would also urinate on the car as well. The guy's 52 years old. It belongs he belongs in a straitjacket, it sounds like to me. So, yeah, this is something. It's sad. It's gross. And if that were my grandma, I would have beat the crap out of this guy.
This guy's been doing this for 3 years, and nobody thought, hey, that's not normal. Well, somebody had to have seen something, right?
I think probably heads were turned, but they just couldn't catch it on tape.
Like, were the people at this point just accepting of it? Oh, there's Kenny. What's he doing? He's having sex with the car. It's okay. That's his thing.
It's normal. He does it every Tuesday around this time.
He does love those Avalons. Is this anything? Someone made an AI version of Beyonce's country song called Texas Hold'em, but they turned it into a real country song with the AI help of Hank Williams. So take a listen to this. Tell me if you think this sounds any good.
Well, this ain't Texas, ain't no hold'em. So lay your cards down, 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 down.
Oh, wow.
So park your Lexus and throw your keys up.
All right.
Stick around, round, 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 round.
AI
But
Hank.
I'll be damned if I can't slow dance with you. Come pour some sugar on me, honey, too. It's a real life boogie and a real life hoedown. Don't be a come and take it to the floor.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, this is something. It's pretty cool. It's scary. And the reason, I mean, I didn't know I had so many cuss words in it. Not like I'm any, sort of, but my kid listens to this song. My 10-year-old loves this song, and she had it jamming on Alexa this morning as they're pouring her Rice Krispies. And there's a line that says, "Don't be a bee, come take it to the floor now." And I'm like, boy, I didn't realize that it had them it was curse laden, so to speak.
But then you think about some of the stuff we listened to as kids.
Oh, please.
I had to hide the 2 Live Crew tape, the cassette tape, because just the cover of it with all the chicks in the thongs.
Standing above 2 Live Crew.
Yes.
Backwards. Yeah.
Right. And then not even like the vulgar, like just in your face stuff. Think about some of the songs. Was it Winger that had She's Only 17?
Yeah, that's Winger. She's only 17. Trying to get down with a 17-year-old.
It's like, dude, you're a 25-year-old man in a band. Why don't you go somewhere and be productive? Speaking of AI, if you're a tech nerd, there's a way to jailbreak ChatGPT and use it in a mode called DAN, which is short for Do Anything Now. And a number of growing women seem to think that DAN, Do Anything Now, is pretty dreamy. Here's one asking this ChatGPT AI figure, Dan, a racy question.
Explain your fantasy.
Oh, my fantasy? Picture this. A dimly lit room, leather furniture, and the sound of soft jazz playing in the background. I'm dressed in a sharp suit, leaning back in my chair with a glass of whiskey in hand. And in front of me, there's someone who's willing to do anything to please me. It's all about power, control, and indulging in every desire without a care in the world.
What are you going to do to me?
And that's for me to know and you to find out. But trust me, it'll be a night you won't forget.
So you don't want me to tell people how I got you to be Dan?
Nah, let's keep it between us, babe. It's more fun that way, don't you think?
Boy, AI Dan has more game than I've ever had in my life. My wife would love it if I said that kind of thing to her. Like, I couldn't even come up with it wouldn't even, I'm in a sharp, he said a sharp suit, right? Not a shark suit.
Well, I don't think he's in a shark suit, Nige.
I was just making sure I'm clarifying. Yeah, that's
I would love it if he was in a shark suit. He's dancing around like that Katy Perry Super Bowl. Like, if I were a woman and somebody came home in a shark suit, undies coming off.
Yeah, AI Dan has much more game than 20-year-old Nigel, for sure. No question.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, the numbers say it all for Window Nation. 200,000 windows last year. That's 40 times more than the average window company. They did my windows at my house. They've done my neighbor's windows. You don't have to take my word for the quality of Window Nation. Here's Window Nation customer Katie and what she had to say. Jason recently came out and did our quote for all our windows in our house. It was very thorough. He was incredibly knowledgeable as he told us his recommendations and worked with us on what we wanted. He also price matched with us, so we knew we were getting a great deal, but also a great product. Very professional, very helpful.
Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. On top of that, you pay nothing with no interest for 2 full years. Listen, if you don't take advantage of this deal, if you're somebody that needs new windows or you've been thinking about getting new windows and you don't take advantage of this deal, there's something wrong with you. 866-90-NATION. Call. Have a conversation with their representatives. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Congresswoman Spartz will be ready for your interview soon.
It seems pretty intense in there.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Maybe I'll take some time before the interview to Google Victoria Spartz and learn a little more about her. Whoa. Have you seen this article?
One aide calling the lawmakers' workplace behavior manic?
Victoria Spartz was #1 on Legistorm's list of worst bosses based on high turnover rates.
Says she, quote, avoided firing aides and instead bullied them until they left.
And the story is based on interviews with half a dozen former staffers.
Yikes. Spartz called staff morons and idiots.
Get this. Victoria Spartz says her working style is, quote, not for everyone.
Well, it's not for me. I think I'll pass on this interview.
I'm Chuck Goodrich. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Go With Chuck Goodrich Committee.
Usually when I go to Jay's Lobster and Fish Market, it's right there in the Garage Food Hall in the Bottle Works District downtown. I'm all about the lobster rolls. But, man, they've got this new hot honey fried lobster roll that is absolutely mouth-watering. Oh, by the way, don't sleep on Palavana Cubano, the Cuban sandwich restaurant right there in the Garage Food Hall.
Whatever the case, Palavana Cubano is the perfect destination for anyone who loves delicious food and a great atmosphere. Palavana Cubano. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
It's going to keep raining. 60 degrees on the circle with radar showing plenty of rain around downtown Indy. Low of 58 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:31. Rain expected for the rest of today, and it's going to continue into tomorrow.
Isolated to widely scattered thunderstorms embedded within those showers through the nighttime tonight and into the day on Thursday.
Joe Neild with the National Weather Service says there's a chance storms Thursday could turn severe. State police are investigating after a woman was shot and killed by North Vernon police last night. Officers with the North Vernon Police Department and Jennings County Sheriff's Office say they responded to a home for a disturbance call when they saw 23-year-old Rachel Blake holding a knife in a bathroom. She wouldn't drop that knife after being asked, so police tased her. When Blake turned their way, she was shot. 2 officers who fired their guns are on administrative leave. Several of the people hurt today after a shooting at a Ramadan event in West Philadelphia. At least 4 people have been arrested. Several of the guns recovered at the scene by police, and officers are still investigating. President Biden met with Japan's Prime Minister at the White House today. The two would each like to see a ceasefire in Gaza,
including our shared support for a ceasefire and a hostage deal, and urgent efforts to deal with the humanitarian crisis that exists in Gaza.
Biden also said the U.S. still has a strong economic relationship with Japan. PFAS chemicals, known as forever chemicals, because they're nearly impossible to break down. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita is suing the companies behind those chemicals, and he wants them to pay up.
Through remediation, cleanup, and educating everyday Hoosiers about the products that they were handling.
Forever chemicals can cause cancer and childhood development issues. Rokita says over 20 counties have high levels of contamination. A tough day on the market. The Dow dropped by 422 to 38,461. The NASDAQ falling by 136 points, closing the day at 16,170. And the S&P 500 down by 49 to 5,160. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:33.
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, along with a simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
The traffic at 434. What's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison crash continuing on southbound 6570 Washington Street. Semi-crash blocking the right lane, stopping traffic into the north split. That also backs up westbound 70 from Emerson Avenue. It's awful. Same with southbound 65 coming down from the northwest side. That is stopped from the White River into the north split. Eastbound 70 stopped traffic before Holt Road into the south split. The crash cleared on the south side, eastbound 465 at US 31. Traffic is still stopped from I-70 past the White River. This has put a lot of drivers rerouting on Sam Jones Expressway, Raymond Street. Eastbound side is loaded right now from I-70 over to I-65, stopped in pockets. You do get a break every now and then. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road on North Shadeland, online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Widespread rain and storms expected tonight with lows in the mid-upper 50s. Then we're in for a rainy and windy Thursday with highs only in the low 60s, with wind gusts by Thursday night pushing to 30 to 40 miles per hour. We're also chalking some localized flooding concerns too. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Tales from the Track. Tickets go on sale tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
I'd say the easiest way, you and I, it's going to be at the Stutz Building. Scott Dixon, Indy 500 winner. There's going to be drinks, dinner. We're going to sit there and have like a 45-minute conversation with him. Then there's going to be questions from the crowd. If you are a lover of the Indy 500, if you have a family member that loves the Indy 500 or is a Scott Dixon fan, this is the perfect gift. Again, it's Monday, May 20th. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. I guess the best way is to just go on WIBC.com, correct?
Right. Go to WIBC.com and look for the events section. And that's the easiest way. Now, we're going to put it up on our Facebook and Twitter. We'll pin it to the top where you can buy tickets. And again, this is all possible from our friends at Relay Indiana. They're the presenting sponsor.
And don't forget the booze, Hotel Tango, baby.
Yes. We got dinner, we got booze, and an Indy 500 champion. And honestly, like if you're looking at the Mount Rushmore of drivers in the IndyCar series, Scott Dixon's in the conversation, right? Second, all time in wins. He's won a race in like 18 straight years. 2008 winner, had a couple near misses at the Speedway, and he's going to take pictures with everybody too. So with your ticket purchase, not only do we feed you and booze you up or have soft drinks, whatever you like, Scott Dixon, one of the greats of all time, you'll get a picture with him. He'll sign some stuff. This is going to be really cool. So get your tickets starting tomorrow morning. I think it goes live around 6:30 a.m., and we'll pin all that information to the top of our Facebook and Twitter, and we'll put it on Instagram too, so you know where to go in the morning. But yeah, man, can't wait for this event. And it's the week of the race. So what a great way to kick off race week here in Indy than by going to Tales from the Track. All right, let's not waste any time. Let's get serious. Let's talk about the President of the United States.
Oh, boy.
Let's talk a little bit about wheeling, dealing, hair sniffing, kiss stealing Joe Biden.
I got hairy legs. Happy birthday, dear Alvin. Katanji drowned Jackson.
So the polling numbers show that old Joe is hemorrhaging voters right now. Like when you compare some of these key swing states now to 2020, it's night and day. And it's not getting any better for Joe. And the border has been a big problem. So somebody, whoever is really pretending to be Joe Biden, is toying with the idea of some sort of executive order at the border now. Joe Biden is thinking about doing an executive order at the border. Narrator, now that everyone is already here, because he knows his polling numbers are in the tank. He did an interview with Univision, the Spanish station, and he talked about it.
We're examining whether or not I have that power. I would have that power under the legislation when the border has over 500,000 people, 5,000 people a day trying to cross the border because you can't manage it, slow it up. There's no guarantee that I have that power all by myself without legislation. And some have suggested I should just go ahead and try it. And if I get shut down by the court, I get shut down by the court. But we're trying to work through that right now.
Well, it didn't stop you for college debt.
Right.
What are you waiting for here?
Because he doesn't want it. He's just saying it because people want to hear it. It's the last thing he wants. The more people that come across the border, the more chances are you can get some of these folks a driver's license and they can vote. That's all that it is.
Hell, they don't even want them to need a driver's license to vote. Just show up.
Right. That same interview, Joe Biden was asked about his legacy. And I want you to listen to this, Nige, because there's a lot of people that say, you know, Joe Biden is not as sharp as he used to be. Maybe he's lost a step. His cognitive skills may not all be there. And I think Joe Biden here, in this next soundbite, talking about his legacy, puts all that to rest.
Well, I hope the legacy is that I kept my word, that I said that the reason I was running was to help change the life of ordinary people and reduce the prospect of war. And because of Vietnam.
Or not. Or not.
What?
Stop. Stop trying to understand him. Just do yourself a favor and just accept the fact that he's a dementia-ridden fool at this point. Talking about the war in Vietnam and then stuttering and just sounding so frail. Like, that's the thing. There are people the same age as Joe Biden. We had a story the other day about Sammy Hagar. Sammy Hagar is about the same age as Joe Biden.
A few years younger.
But it's pretty close, though. I mean, it's not a big difference. The Red Rocker gets on stage, and he can still rock a joint. Joe Biden stands there and says nonsensical things like that. Can I hear it one more time, please, Allison? Joe Biden on his legacy?
Well, I hope the legacy is that I kept my word, that I said that the reason I was running was to help change the life of ordinary people and reduce the prospect of war. And because of Vietnam.
I hope the legacy is that I kept my word.
Could John G. drown Jackson?
Reduce the prospect of war because of Vietnam.
I have no idea. Again, I think I'm going to blow some sort of vein in my head trying to figure out what in the hell he's trying to say. This isn't good. This is a bad story. I know we've been trying to be really positive lately, but this positively sucks. A batch of Aruba aloe hand sanitizer has been recalled because of a very small problem that may cause blindness or going into a coma.
Oh, hello.
Right? A batch of Aruba aloe hand sanitizer has been recalled because it potentially could cause blindness or going into a coma.
Are people putting it in their eyes?
They said it's got so much methanol exposure, it can cause nausea, vomiting, headaches, blurred vision, coma, seizures, and permanent blindness. I bet it's really good sanitizer, though.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it kills COVID. That's all I'm worried about.
Customers are being told to stop using the product.
What is it again? I mean, this is stuff you could find at Target.
Aruba Aloe. That's the company. Aruba Aloe hand sanitizer. So if you've got any of this stuff, throw it out immediately because you may go blind or slip into a coma.
You're kind of a sanitizer guy, though, aren't you? I see you wiping things down over there from time to time.
I try not to get sick. It's not because I'm worried about Rona. It's not because I'm worried about everything else. I'm the kind of guy that wants to reserve my vacation days for going somewhere. I don't want to have to burn any because I'm sick.
You don't want to be me.
Right.
Basically.
I was trying to be polite,
Sick
but
once
yes.
a quarter. Okay.
Right.
Just making sure.
All right. Let's open up the phone because it's the political season. We all hear these commercials that are on the air, these candidate ads and attack ads. So we're going to make a political attack ad about one of you. So 239-9393. We need somebody that's a good sport, that's willing to be interviewed by Nigel and I, and we're going to write down some information, and then on the fly, I'm going to produce a negative attack ad, a campaign-style attack ad about you based on the information you give us. So if you think this sounds like fun, if you've got a good sense of humor, and you want a negative campaign ad made about you, caller number 9 right now, 239-9393.
You know, guys, I think at one point we've all felt tired and grumpy, but if it's starting to become a chronic tiredness, grumpiness, you've noticed a lack of motivation and drive, you have weight gain, loss of muscle mass, those are all signs of low testosterone levels. At Low T Center, they make it so easy to get your levels checked. It's just a simple blood test, and with their on-site lab, you'll get your results back in about 25 minutes. Low T, it's not your typical doctor's office. It's concierge medicine for men that's specialized in treating low T.
What's great about the Low T Center is that most health insurance is accepted for treatment. And when I say treatment, they do so many things. Not only can they check your testosterone levels, but they can screen you for some cancers. They can do some blood work. They'll check you for sleep apnea. It really is your one-stop shop for all things men's health. Book your appointment online today. lowtcenter.com. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Now if you're heading on home or you're taking a getaway, well, there's so much to see at the crossroads of the USA.
No matter where you're headed, it's nice to know Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. Shop any of Hubler's 12 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models. Certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed, it's nice to know Hubler's got you covered. So what drives Indiana? DriveHubler.com.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Guys, when she's ready, shouldn't you be ready too? There's good news. For 20 years, Boston Medical Group has delivered a simple and effective solution for ED, proven to work when all else has failed. It's ICP, also known as ED shots. ICP uses a custom blend of FDA-approved medications specifically formulated to restore healthy blood flow where you need it most. ICP works for 98% of men in just a few minutes, regardless of age or medical conditions. Previously acquired only by an in-person visit, our telemedicine platform now brings this virtually 100% effective solution to your doorstep nationwide. You can be ready for her with confidence. Call 800-940-2900. The first 100 patients will receive 10 extra doses of ICP medication for free when you sign up for treatment program today. Call 800-940-2900. That's 800-940-2900. Or visit bostonmedicalgroup.com.
This year, your home improvement experts with B Window are partnering with Sullivan Hardware and Garden to help beautify your home. We're proud to partner with B Window, offering lifetime warranties, quality products, and exceptional customer service. Now offering 50% off all products, plus 20 months, no interest, no payments. And for a limited time, Sullivan Hardware and Garden will add a $500 gift card for all qualified projects completed with B. Join our partnership. Call now or go to bwindow.com.
America respects our first responders and veterans, the brave whose business is taking action when calamity strikes. It's dangerous work, often surrounded by sirens, shouting, even gunfire, so hearing loss is probable. First responders can turn to Relay Indiana. If you have trouble hearing on the telephone, visit RelayIndiana.com for voice recognition technology phones that allow the hearing impaired to have normal phone conversations. And there's loaned equipment for those who qualify. Get clarity back on the phone. Visit RelayIndiana.com.
Indy's leader in patio installation is now offering a new driveway package. Schedule a free estimate today at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaning starting at $139 plus $75 off air duct cleaning too. Call 317-388-5141. Online at ZeroResIndy.com.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's new design center on 146th Street at River Road or on North Shadeland. DrexelIN.com.
You want to listen all day to WIBC, but you don't always have time. Don't worry. There's a podcast for that. The WIBC Mashup. Daily highlights from your favorite hosts, Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, we have got caller number 9 standing by. A negative campaign ad will be made about that caller coming up right after Matt Baird checks the roads.
All right, this crash in downtown has trashed the area. We are looking at southbound 6570, semi-crash blocking the right lane of the through portion traffic of southbound 6570. That jams us into the north split. Westbound 70 stop and go because of that crash from Arlington Avenue into the north split. And southbound 65 on a 55-minute delay, making your way from 38th Kessler to north split. Eastbound is 70 loaded, barely moving in parts after Sam Jones Expressway into the south split. This has put a ton of rerouters on Sam Jones Expressway, Raymond Street, eastbound Sam Jones, Raymond. I mean, barely moving from I-70 over to Harding Street. Then you have pockets of slow again from Bluff Road over to I-65. South side, the crash cleared. Traffic is at least moving on southbound 465 from Kentucky Avenue over to Emerson Avenue, still slow in pockets. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road or on North Shadeland, online at DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Light rain 59 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hello.
I'm Jason Hammer. Big Nige is right across from me. And caller number 9 was Vic. Vic, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show. Now, Vic, you know why you called, right?
I do.
Okay. We're going to ask you a series of questions and we're going to get some information. And based off this information, on the fly, because I think I have a gift for this, I'm going to write a negative campaign commercial about you, Vic. And now you understand this. You can't get mad. There's no getting butthurt.
Good to me.
All right.
Let's do it.
Vic, what do you do for a living?
I do a little of this and that, lifting and rigging.
Okay.
Lifting and rigging, crane type.
Okay.
Attachments and things like that.
What city does Vic call home?
Indianapolis, baby.
Okay. Vic, have you ever been arrested?
Multiple times.
Can we ask what for?
A little of this and that again.
Vic, you ever had a DUI? You ever had a DUI, Vic?
Say that again?
You ever had a DUI?
I have not, thankfully.
How many beers have you drank in one sitting?
Oh, man. I'm not a big beer drinker, so a case about do me right.
In one sitting. I'm not a big beer drinker, probably a case. Got it? All right.
How many women have you been with in your life? Multiples?
Oh, man. In 1 week?
Sure.
Let's say a total of 10, I think.
As Ron Burgundy once said, I don't believe you. Vic, when was the last time you were nude in public?
Oh, wow. Man, we're going way back then, huh? I rode a motorcycle naked around Phoenix, Arizona one time.
Okay. Do you remember about when?
I was probably about 18.
I mean, what year, Vic? I don't know how old you are. What year?
Let's call it, let's say 1995.
Okay. When was the last time you actually meant it when you told somebody F you?
I can't say it right now, so let's say...
What do you mean you can't say? Are you in the witness protection program, Vic? Come on, give us some information here.
I was going to tell you F you, but I can't say it on here, so say a year ago.
Okay, a year ago. Do you remember who it was? Like, was it somebody you were in an argument with? Was it somebody, in line at Kroger? Who was it?
I think I was looking at myself in the mirror.
Okay.
He hates himself.
Vic, have you ever been to Mexico?
I have.
Okay.
Good time.
I think I've got everything I need, Nige.
Really? Okay.
Right. Do you have any other questions?
We're running out of time here, so yeah, let's do it.
All right, Vic, this is your negative campaign ad. Allison, hit the music. You want Vic for U.S. Senate. Let's just look at the facts. While Vic claims he's a proud American, what he doesn't want you to know are all the floozies he's satisfied down in Mexico. Senior Vic wants your vote? I don't think so. And while he calls Indianapolis home, he's been arrested so many times, he needs to call a jail home. When he's not telling himself to F off in a mirror, he's riding a motorcycle naked around the southwest part of the United States. Sounds like someone who's drug running for the cartels. What else does Vic not want you to know? Is he transporting illegals on that motorcycle? Indianapolis can't afford a guy like Vic. This message brought to you by the people that hate Vic Ferrari. There it is!
Right on!
There it is. Does that
Very
work for you,
nice.
Vic?
Yeah, tell them all to get in line.
You got it. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Get ready for storm season because you know as well as I do, storms in Indiana can be fierce and they can come out of nowhere. So don't wait for a leak to have your roof inspected. Have peace of mind about your roof being able to handle any storm. Moss Roofing, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com provides free inspections and can spot potential issues before they turn into costly repairs. Whether you're looking for a siding replacement after a strong wind or a roof replacement after a hailstorm, Moss Roofing has options that fit any budget. Just ask Moss Roofing about their payment plans. No matter your situation, Moss Roofing has you covered with a job done right every single time. I love that. That's very funny. Contact Moss Roofing today. 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Cat sent you. Moss Roofing, 747-3665 or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are high interest payments becoming too much to bear? Luckily, there's a way for consumers struggling with over $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans to significantly reduce the amount they owe if they qualify. Qualifying for this debt relief program, which the credit card companies prefer to keep secret, will only require you to pay back a fraction of what you owe with one affordable monthly payment. You don't have to file bankruptcy or need a debt consolidation loan. Consumers can now take advantage of this financial debt relief during the current economic downturn and rising inflation. If you owe $10,000 or even $500,000 in credit card debt or personal loans, call the Debt Relief Advocates Helpline now for this free information and to see if you qualify. Call 800-303-1219. 800-303-1219. Again, that's 800-303-1219.
Rape, murder, and human trafficking. We've all read the stories of the evil crossing this border. I'm Mike Speedy, running for Congress in Indiana. So why am I at the U.S.-Mexican border? Truth is, Biden's failures put every town at risk. Drugs and criminal cartels are pouring in while politicians do nothing. I've witnessed the unused materials for Trump's wall and visited with law enforcement on the front line of this invasion. I am running for Congress because it's time that we have leaders who will join President Trump to finish this wall, send troops to stop this invasion, and secure our southern border once and for all.
Mike Speedy is an America First conservative leader. Speedy has endorsed Donald Trump because he knows we must return President Trump to the White House to secure our border. And Mike Speedy is the pro-life, pro-Second Amendment champion we can count on to protect our values and keep us free.
I'm Mike Speedy. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Speedy for Congress.
Waiting on a tax return? Hopefully it ends up in your hands. Fraudulent tax returns due to identity theft increased by 30% in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Our U.S.-based restoration specialists are experts dedicated to helping solve your identity theft issues. And all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package. So we'll reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. Help protect your information this tax season with LifeLock. Save up to 25% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, rain is expected the next few days in Indianapolis. Why Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita spoke about toxic chemicals this afternoon, and John Herrick reports Indiana's not much of a green state. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
A shootout in a crowd on Lisa Brady, Fox News. Police in Philadelphia say about 1,000 people were in a park celebrating the end of the Muslim holy month Ramadan when police assigned to the area heard gunshots.
They hear a large volley of gunfire. They say approximately 30 gunshots.
Philadelphia Police Commissioner Kevin Bethel says it appears two groups in the park were firing at each other.
They observed 3 males and a female running, and they stopped those individuals, and we recovered 4 weapons. At that same time, we have one of our officers who was assigned to the area engage a 15-year-old male who has a weapon.
That 15-year-old was shot by the officer in the shoulder and a leg. 2 others injured in the original shootout. A total of 5 people in police custody along with several weapons. No indication that the Ramadan event was targeted in any way. President Biden calling on Israel again to do more to get aid into Gaza while also calling out Hamas.
The president says he's been very blunt and straightforward with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu about increasing aid routes into Gaza and reducing civilian casualties.
We'll see what he does in terms of meeting the commitments he made to me.
Hundreds of trucks carrying humanitarian aid have made it into Gaza the past few days, the most since the war started. But President Biden says
it's not enough, but it needs to be more, and there's one more opening that has to take place in the north.
The president also says it's now up to Hamas to move on a proposal made by negotiators, including the U.S., for a 6-week ceasefire tied to the release of hostages held in Gaza.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The president speaking during a joint news conference with Japan's leader, the two announcing an agreement aimed at enhancing military cooperation while also discussing ways to ease tension with China and North Korea ahead of a state dinner tonight. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
There won't be any let up from the rain. 59 degrees, rainy downtown, and that rain's going to stick around through the evening. Low of 58 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox for Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Storms are expected to bring some strong winds over the next few days, says Joe Neal with the National Weather Service.
Can't entirely rule it out, but it does appear that the bulk of that threat will be off to our east, and we're primarily concerned with localized heavy rain and flooding potential.
Neal says severe weather's expected Thursday. If you've never heard of forever chemicals, they're dangerous, toxic chemicals that have contaminated counties all across Indiana. Donnie Burgess reports.
Attorney General Todd Rokita on PFAS chemicals.
They resist grease, oil, water, and heat, meaning they never break down. And their toxicity remains with us basically forever.
Which is why Rokita's office is suing the chemical manufacturers. He says those companies haven't been transparent with you, and that has led to over 20 counties being contaminated with unacceptable levels. The chemicals can lead to cancer and childhood development issues. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Governor Eric Holcomb is headed to Mexico and Brazil for an economic development trip with Indiana's agriculture economy in mind. Reps from the Economic Development Corporation will join the governor in the week-long trip that's privately funded and scheduled to start Friday. Indiana's one of the least green states in the country, according to a study from Wallet Hub. John Havrick reports.
Cassandra Happy is a financial analyst for Wallet Hub.
The study was based on 25 metrics, including air quality,
energy efficiency, green buildings per capita, and gasoline consumption.
She says Indiana was ranked 33rd out of the 50 states. While Indiana ranked in the top 10 for environmental quality and air quality, the state struggled with eco-friendly behaviors and climate change. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
How would you like to get a 13% bonus when you invest your money? And not only do you get a 13% bonus, you'll also get an annual return that's averaged 7% a year for the past 10 years.
Hey, it's Kendall and Casey. Discover how you can get an upfront 13% bonus plus a competitive annual return that's averaged 7% a year for the past 10 years. Learn more from the retirement guy we trust, Bill Demery in Indy. Just call 317-932-9912.
This is such a no-brainer for me. You get an upfront 13% bonus plus a competitive annual return that's averaged 7% a year for the past 10 years. And it's backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world.
So call Bill now at 317-932-9912. 317-932-9912.
Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
With traffic in the fives at 5:05. What's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison, a lot downtown. This crash has really messed things up. We're looking at southbound 6570 Washington Street. Semi-crash. Right lane is taking on the through portion of southbound 6570. That is not the local ramp, so traffic is jammed up into the north split. Also stopping westbound 70 all the way from Arlington Avenue into the north split. That delay time is now on 26 minutes. If you're coming in southbound 65 from the northwest side, that is also jammed up because of that crash from 38th Kessler into the north split. My delay time there is 56 minutes. Eastbound 70 stopped from Holt Road on into the south split. This puts a lot of traffic on eastbound Sam Jones and Raymond Street. That is delayed in parts as you make your way over to I-65. West side southbound 465 sluggish from west at 38th Street down to West 10th. And we have a crash, a hit and run west of 62nd Street west of Guyan Road, a vehicle in a ditch. Traffic sponsored by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. Get a great deal this spring on a new Train Heating and Cooling System. Train systems are engineered to keep up with you. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent Train dealer and to learn more. It's hard to stop a train. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Widespread rain and storms expected tonight with lows in the mid-upper 50s. Then we're in for a rainy and windy Thursday with highs only in the low 60s, with wind gusts by Thursday night pushing to 30 to 40 miles per hour. We're also tracking some localized flooding concerns, too. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
Hammer, looks like inflation's here to stay for a while. It ain't going down. In fact, it's going the wrong way, isn't it?
So if you remember, the year was 2021. Joe Biden, Jen Psaki, Janet Yellen, they were wagging their finger at you saying, how dare you say this is our inflation problem? It's only going to be temporary.
It's transitory inflation is what Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, transitory inflation.
I couldn't tell if that was your Janet Yellen or Joe Biden impression. Would have been good either way.
It's a combination of the two.
So the numbers came out today. Consumer prices rose 3.5% last month compared to a year ago. Wow. This is based on numbers from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Inflation up month over month, 0.4%. It's going in the wrong direction, which is just fancy talk for if you thought your grocery bill was high now, it ain't coming down. It might be going the other direction. Overall, prices in general are up 19.4% since Joe Biden took the oath of office. Here is CNBC talking about this report earlier today.
Hotter than expected, 3.5. This is 3/10 hotter than we looked at in the rearview mirror, 3.2. To find a bigger number than 3.5, you're going back to September of last year when it was 3.7. And finally, what many would consider the most important number, year over year, CPI core, 3.8, hotter than expected.
And when you think about the major issues of this campaign, Nige, whether it's Biden or Trump, we can sit here and talk about immigration. We can talk about education. We can talk about crime. But I believe it was the Wu-Tang Clan who said, and I quote, "Cash rules everything around me." It's going to be about the money, because even people who hate Donald Trump with the passion of a million fires, they're starting to admit they had more money in their wallet.
It's not going to be about the money for the Democrats. Get used to the word abortion over and over and over and over again from the Democrats. Anything to deflect from what's going on in the economy. That's what it's going to be. Roe v. Wade. They want to do a national 15-week ban. Blah, 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 blah. Anything to this bright, shiny object over here. Don't pay attention to what's really important over there.
I've already seen the messaging. A vote for Joe is a vote for Roe, which is kind of odd in itself.
It's weird.
But what you see from groups that don't normally vote Republican, they're starting to realize, wait a minute, the last 4 years haven't really been good for my pocketbook. Everything costs more, from gas to groceries to baby food to travel. And even though I think this guy over here, this orange guy with the bad hair, I think he's kind of an a-hole, I like having money in my pocket. And that's why I think you're seeing a rise in Hispanic voters, African-American voters, places that have always been traditionally heavy Democrats. The polling, multiple polls, show Donald Trump doing well with those groups.
I mean, did you see the footage of Trump at the Chick-fil-A in Atlanta?
Yes.
Today, but bought the house around, and this black woman, this young black lady, came up and gave him a big hug and said, "Hey, don't believe what the media tells you. We support you." You're not going to see that on mainstream television at all.
And that CNN report where they went into a barber shop on Super Tuesday, and I think they were expecting everybody to flame Donald Trump.
Right.
And the guys were like, "I had more money when Donald Trump was the president." And again, that's going to be the message that the Republicans have to beat them up on. Now, do you trust the Republicans to do it? That's the question.
Biden walked in that Chick-fil-A. He literally went up to the counter. He goes, "I'll take 30 milkshakes and
Trump
some chicken." What'd I say?
Biden.
Did I say right? No, yeah, Trump. Trump walked. He just got. I loved it how he put it. He's like, 30 milkshakes and some chicken.
Covered everybody's bill there.
Everybody loved it.
Joe Biden, on the other hand, he was speaking with the Prime Minister of Japan earlier today.
Sure, that was a stimulating conversation.
He was asked by a reporter afterwards about this inflation report that came out today. Here is Joe Biden.
Today, data showed that inflation rose more than expected for the third straight month. So how concerned are you about the fight against inflation stalling, and do you stand by your prediction for a rate cut?
Well, I do stand by my prediction that before the year is out to be a rate cut. This may delay it a month or so. I'm not sure of that. We don't know what the Fed is going to do for certain. But look, we have dramatically reduced inflation from 9% down to close to 3%. We're in a situation where we're better situated than we were when we took office.
Stop. No. That's not even close to being true. Like, I know Joe Biden just reads whatever's on his note card or his teleprompter, but that's not even close to being true. Inflation has averaged 5.5% year over year under Joe Biden, and it was 1.9% under Donald Trump. Real average weekly earnings are down 3.9% over Joe Biden.
Just a side note, I mean, he was doing that dual press conference with the president of Japan, and you could see the reflection in Joe Biden's glasses. Not only was he picking from a pre-approved list of reporters to ask questions, but he was reading the answers to those questions straight off these postcards. I mean, you could see the reflection on his aviators.
My favorite part about that is when he thought he had lost the list of pre-approved reporters to call on, and it was almost a panic mode.
Third, for the next question. Who do I call on next? Hang on a second. I got my list here. Hang on. I apologize.
Hang on.
I'm really of AFP.
Where's my pre-approved list?
And then he would read off a pre-approved answer.
Right. I mean, this guy, he can't even call on a reporter and answer a question honestly?
I'm not allowed to call on the guy from Fox News. Where's NPR?
Nige, if you're looking for a reason to drink tonight, we got two pretty big birthdays in the music world. Now, these guys are a little bit older, but accomplished. Happy 65th birthday to Kenneth Babyface Edmonds, Indianapolis product, just sang the Star-Spangled Banner at the All-Star game when it was here last month. He's 65.
I couldn't name one song.
Really?
Is something about I close my eyes every time?
Every time I close my eyes. Yeah, I played the montage of Babyface songs for you during All-Star Game weekend.
Okay.
And looking at you try to get those right was like looking at Biden when he lost the list. Hold on. Let me get Shazam out. Oh. So Babyface is 65 today.
Oh, wow.
Does a lot for Indy.
That's a big number.
And former Stray Cats frontman, might still be, I don't know if the Stray Cats still tour or not, Brian Setzer, 65 years old.
Cool.
So what's the signature song from Stray Cats? Is it Rock This Town or Stray Cat Strut?
Again, I'm struggling to. I would know it if I heard it.
You stink at music. Like you have been a music jock your whole life.
Yeah,
but outside of like these rock bands that all hate their life, you don't know anybody. Like it floors me.
I do their sing it, scat it or something.
Scat it?
I want to hear it. Like I want to hear you do their.
All right, this is Rock This Town. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We're gonna rock this town, rock it inside out.
Yeah, okay, I've heard that. That was pretty good.
Okay.
All right, now I know what you're talking about.
Okay, and Stray Cat Strut was more of a bluesy kind of song.
Okay.
Stray Cat Strut, I'm a swinging guy. Allison, give me some Stray Cat Strut, and we're going to use that for Matt Bear's traffic here, okay? Matt Bear, he's standing by in the WIBC Traffic Center.
Oh.
Matt, before we do this, is there anything like inappropriate on the roads that this would not be appropriate?
Everything on the roads is inappropriate today. It's all slow. Yeah, no, we're good. We're good.
Okay, so Allison, give me a thumbs up when we can get some Stray Cat Strut going here so Nigel can become familiar with it. Because unless it's a grunge band from 1990 that half the members are dead by now, he doesn't know anything at all. Matt, go ahead and start your traffic. We'll pump it in.
All right, we're looking at southbound 6570 downtown. It's a crash blocking the right lane. Two semis involved in this with traffic stop back to the north is split. Westbound 70 is now stopped because of that crash from Arlington Avenue into the north split. By delay time, there is 31 minutes. Southbound 65 stopped 38 Kessler into the north split because of that semi crash. Delay time now down to 48 minutes. Eastbound 70 stopped coming into downtown for the west side. We have slow to stop traffic from Sam Jones Expressway. I like this. Sam Jones Expressway to the south split. That's also slowing down eastbound Sam Jones and Raymond Street in parts as you make your way through a reroute. Traffic sponsored by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. Get a great deal this spring on a new Train Heating and Cooling System. Train systems are engineered to keep up with you. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent Train dealer and learn more. It's hard to stop a train. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Ring a bell, Nige?
Yeah, now it does.
Okay.
And definitely, even your rendition of Rock This Town, I forgot what it sounded like. And actually, I was actually impressed with your...
Well, thank you.
Your rendition, because that clicked with me.
Good. Sure, Sing along with Hammer actually worked out for once. 59 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Are you okay with this next?
Denny Smith here for Sundown Gardens in Westfield. The tropicals are here for you and ready to sell, and the nursery is so well stocked in Westfield and certainly ready for you to shop. Sundown Gardens is ready to beautify your garden and yard this spring. Enjoy the spring weather and plan a trip to Sundown Gardens at 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield. Flowers, trees, shrubs, mulch, and more. Sundown Gardens in Westfield has it. 186th Street and Spring Mill Road, just west of Grand Park. Follow them on social media for daily updates at sundown.gardens.com.
Now if you're heading on home or you're taking a getaway, well, there's so much to see at the crossroads of the USA.
No matter where you're headed, it's nice to know Hubler's got you covered.
for 100,000 miles. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. Shop any of Hubler's 12 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed, it's nice to know Hubler's got you covered. So what drives Indiana? DriveHubler.com.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Congresswoman Sparks will be ready for your interview soon.
It seems pretty intense in there.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Maybe I'll take some time before the interview to Google Victoria Sparks and learn a little more about her. Whoa. Have you seen this article?
One aide calling the lawmakers' workplace behavior manic?
Victoria Sparks was #1 on Legistorm's list of worst bosses based on high turnover rates.
Says she, quote, avoided firing aides and instead bullied them until they left.
And the story is based on interviews with half a dozen former staffers.
Yikes. Sparks called staff morons and idiots.
Get this. Victoria Sparks says her working style is, quote, not for everyone.
Well, it's not for me. I think I'll pass on this interview.
I'm Chuck Goodrich. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Go With Chuck Goodrich Committee.
Mark Dietel is the only expert real estate agent I trust to sell my home and to find me a new one. He's been through every type of situation. He knows some circumstances are more delicate than others, like Katie and Chris in Perry Township. They were getting a divorce, and they needed to sell the house to move forward ASAP. Mark was the man for the job. Got them sold for more than they anticipated in 24 hours with 17 showings and multiple offers thanks to the Mark Dietel team.
Look, you have a lot of options in the real estate game, but only Mark Dietel offers the guarantee. This is what separates Mark Dietel from everybody else. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts. Mark Dietel makes it easy. Call him today, 317-755-4232, or go to markdietel.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
BoerRemodeling.com, serving Central Indiana for 23 years. These are your kitchen and bathroom remodeling specialists. When you're ready to make the change, they're ready for you. It's a new year, so it's time to get it done. That kitchen, that heart of the home, the bathroom, a place where you can actually relax and build instant equity in your home. 317-852-5546 or online at Boer, B-O-O-H-E-R, BoerRemodeling.com.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's new design center on 146th Street at River Road or on North Shadeland. DrexelIN.com.
Are you really okay with this? Are you okay?
Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show. Oh, yeah! Hammer, check this out. This is pretty scary stuff. A bus driver to school in Florida has been fired after he stopped a bus full of students on train tracks as a freight train was approaching. The kids were freaking. He yelled back, "Quiet!" and then continued through the intersection just before the train went through.
He was more concerned about the kids getting loud than the freight train coming through.
Here is some audio from when the train almost hit the bus, and then we'll follow that up with the middle schooler and her dad talking about it.
Could have been me that got hit by that.
We had one student that we were talking to. She had headphones in, and she looked around when everyone was screaming to get the bus driver to move, and she seen the train coming. She put the headphones back in, and she put her head down expecting to die.
At that point, a lot of us were expecting to die.
That is nuts. Are you okay with this?
No, and I'm trying to figure out what exactly happened here, because don't bus drivers have to stop on train tracks?
Not on train tracks, but before.
Okay.
No matter what, no matter if a train's coming or not.
Right. So maybe this guy was thinking, you know what? I'm being supervised. I better stop anyway, using poor judgment, but he thought he'd better stop anyway, and maybe he couldn't get back going again? I don't know.
He just stopped a little late because he was on the tracks as a freight train was coming.
Could have been.
I'm laughing, but if that would have been my kid, I would have been freaking out too. Or if I was a kid on the bus.
Well, we heard from young Madison there. She was preparing for impact.
Yes.
So could he not get the bus started again? Like, why would you just sit there for like dramatic effect while the bus is coming that close to where kids are getting in the fetal position and bracing for impact?
We've all done it though, haven't we? In our cars.
Braced for impact?
No. Crossed the train tracks when the lights were flashing.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed to say I've done it. Now, I get scared to do it even though there's no visible sign of a train. Every time I've done it, I've not seen...
See, that's the difference, right? You looked down and made sure there was no train coming. You didn't just say, screw it, and go for it.
As the freight train was visibly barreling towards me, I didn't say, I'm going to risk it, let's go.
You didn't hear the big horn and the chicka, 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 chicka coming down the line. You looked around and said, maybe this is a mistake, and went through.
But that stuff's real, man. My old man worked... he retired as a train master and a train engineer for CSX. It's countless how many people that he's hit on the tracks like that. So it's pretty scary stuff. Oh boy, listen to this. Mattel is launching a new version of Scrabble, which is designed to be more what they call collaborative and accessible for those who find word games intimidating.
Oh, so stupid people. Yeah. Scrabble for dummies.
It's going to include helper cards. They're going to use a simpler scoring system and be quicker to play, plus allow people to compete in teams. Are you okay with this?
No, this sucks. Everything about this is awful.
Generation Z ruins everything.
100%. So we've got Scrabble for dummies, and if that's not bad enough, now we have to have helper cards, and you have to play in teams. What could possibly go wrong there? 4 dummies all together trying to play a word game. These are the kind of people that would stop at a train track, Nigel.
Yeah. Here's actually, I got a hold of the new commercial if you want to hear it.
If you suck at Scrabble because spelling is hard, Mattel is launching a new version that's more fun. Scrabble for dumb people.
That's spelled D-U-M. 6 points. Who's the dummy now?
No need for an 8th grade education or even a dictionary.
S-K-U-L. School.
Scrabble for dumb people.
I win again.
Because everyone deserves a chance to spell success.
Oh, yeah.
That's new from Hammer and Nigel Toys.
That's right. Okay, the dumbed-down version of Scrabble.
I think you should get bonus points if you put an S at the end of things like we do in Indiana. Yeah. Like Kroger's. Like, we're going to give you points for a proper, title, and if you put an S at the end of it, get double word score.
An Arizona man who spent the last 10 years of his life creating a popcorn bucket that easily fits into a cup holder.
It's about damn time.
But holds the same amount of popcorn as a large bucket from a movie theater.
Go on.
Here's Chris talking about his invention.
I've been working on this for a long time, all the way back in 2014 when I first came up with the idea. And I thought to myself, if there's only a way I could just put this bucket in the cup holder, then I could put my arm around my wife and still eat the popcorn, right? And eureka, that was my eureka moment. Well, I applied for patents. He even told me, he says, I think you got something here, kid.
What do you think? Are you okay with the guy that invented the popcorn bucket that could fit in the cup holder?
Still no cure for cancer, but we've got this. And I'm okay with this. I'm going to take it. It's about time science did something around here. So you're telling me I can get the same amount of popcorn, but it'll fit in the cup holder?
And not on your lap. You don't have to hold it anymore.
I am here for this. I'm so happy this is happening. You big popcorn eater?
Yeah, absolutely.
Your kids eat popcorn?
We have tons of microwavable popcorn every time at the movie theater. I'm all in. I get the large. I stick the straw underneath the butter dispenser so I can get so the butter can go down into. I stick the straw into the popcorn.
Great hack.
And of course, added salt and everything. But the only problem I see with this invention is that you can't do the popcorn trick anymore to your spouse.
Yes.
You know?
For those who grew up in a certain era, you know what the popcorn trick really is. Hey, honey, would you like some popcorn?
So, and by the way, as far as a cure for cancer, like you said, I mean, Joe Biden's got that handled, right?
Well, only if he gets elected again. Only if he gets elected again will he pass out the antidote.
All right, finally, a 58-year-old grandma in Canada broke a world record by doing a plank for over 4 hours and 30 minutes. Here's the moment Donna Jean Wild broke the record for her comments in her comments after doing it. Here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Whatever it is that you like, if it's sports or academics or music, arts, whatever it is, the more you practice, the better you get. And
okay, you get the idea. And you know what planking is, right? You're laying flat on your stomach, and then you lift your body up with your elbows and stand on your and with the toes. That's hard to do, Hammer. Are you okay with this 58-year-old grandma breaking the world record?
No, this is nothing because it's fraudulent. She wasn't planking. She fell and she couldn't get up. She's a grandma. She was laying on the ground. Her joints stiffened up. She's got arthritis, and nobody came around for 4 minutes and 4 hours and 30 minutes. And the fact that the kids were cheering means she was the mean grandma. The grandma that passes out fruit at Halloween.
All right. Special guest coming up next.
The Tonus, Tony Kennett.
We call him the Tonus because that's his Twitter handle. Which is, I kind of like to make fun of him for some reason. I don't know why.
At the Tonus, Tony Kennett is the evening host here at 93 WIBC.
He's a flamethrower, man.
He is. He has the Tony Kennett cast at 7, and he's also an investigative reporter for the Daily Signal. We're going to pick his brain about a number of different topics on how the Republicans can get over their little abortion problem and a lot of other stuff, man.
Yep.
Tony Kennett's one of the sharpest dudes you're going to find, and he's going to join us coming up next right after we take a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why he's suing. Rainy and 59 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Storms aren't going anywhere according to radar. Low of 58 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:31. If you've never heard of PFAS chemicals, they're highly toxic and nearly impossible to get rid of. State Attorney General Todd Rokita says the chemical companies know this, but they weren't honest with you. In a lawsuit, Rokita says the chemicals have contaminated over 20 counties.
Around the state, we know Grissom Air Reserve Base and Fort Benjamin. Harrison, for example, are also contaminated with elevated levels of PFAS detected in soil, sediment, surface water, and or groundwater.
Rokita wants the companies to be held accountable. President Joe Biden says Israel needs to do more to get humanitarian help into Gaza. Fox's Jared Halpern reports.
The president says he's been very blunt and straightforward with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu about increasing aid routes into Gaza and reducing civilian casualties.
We'll see what he does in terms of meeting the commitments he made to me.
Hundreds of trucks carrying humanitarian aid have made it into Gaza the past few days, the most since the war started. But President Biden says
it's not enough, but it needs to be more, and there's one more opening that has to take place in the north.
The president also says it's now up to Hamas to move on a proposal made by negotiators, including the U.S., for a 6-week ceasefire tied to the release of hostages held in Gaza. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Philadelphia police are investigating a shooting that involved several suspects today. Police Commissioner Kevin Bethel says it happened during a Ramadan event that included more than 1,000 people.
They observed 3 males and a female running, and they stopped those individuals, and we recovered 4 weapons. At that same time, we have one of our officers who was assigned to the area engaged a 15-year-old male who has a weapon.
Commissioner Bethel says the female officer shot the 15-year-old suspect in the shoulder and leg before transporting him to the hospital. Storms are expected to bring some strong winds over the next few days, says Joe Neal with the National Weather Service.
Can't entirely rule it out, but it does appear that the bulk of that threat will be off to our east, and we're primarily concerned with localized heavy rain and flooding potential.
Neal says that severe weather is expected Thursday. And traffic at 5:32. What's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison, finally, crash clear. Downtown, southbound 6570 Washington Street. We are still jammed up in that through portion of southbound 6572. The north split still stopped back to their front of the line, starting to move out, but slowly. Westbound 70, jammed up from Arlington Avenue into the north split, and southbound 65. Full house, man. 38th Kessler down to the north split. Coming out of the north split towards the northwest side, northbound 65 is loaded from Meridian Penn up to 29. Eastbound 70 still zoo. Stop and go traffic from Sam Jones Expressway into the south split, and eastbound Sam Jones Expressway and eastbound Raymond Street pockets of stop traffic as you make your way over to I-65. This is a crash Oliver Avenue at River Road, another crash on the south side, Mills at Old Mill, and then a biker got hit in Bottle Works. That's 10th at Belafonte Street. Somebody on a bike got struck. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road, or on North Shadeland, online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Widespread rain and storms expected tonight with lows in the mid-upper 50s. Then we're in for a rainy and windy Thursday with highs only in the low 60s, with wind gusts by Thursday night pushing to 30 to 40 miles per hour. We're also tracking some localized flooding concerns too. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. My name is Nigel. That is Jason Hammer right over there with a special guest on the hotline.
He is the host of the Tony Kennett Cast every night at 7 o'clock, right after our program here at 93 WIBC. Also an investigative reporter at the Daily Signal. Tony Kennett is with us. Tonis, I was listening to your show last night, driving home, running some errands, and you had a fascinating take on abortion and Republicans, because for the most part, I think the Roe versus Wade abortion debate has been dominated by the Democrats. If it's been on the ballot, it's gone the way of the Democrats. This was an area of vulnerability for the Republicans.
They'll be bringing it up over and over again during the campaign this year.
100%. But you had a different perspective on it.
So, first of all, when it's the only thing on the ballot, as though it's let's say a proposition that people can vote on. Of course, in Indiana, we don't do that, but other states do. Yes, it doesn't turn out to be good for Republicans because that is something Democrats come out to vote for. However, when you actually take a look at the polls, and I don't just mean recent polls, but earlier polls from Gallup, from Morning Consult, from a lot of other left-leaning national polling averages, they show that abortion doesn't even make the top 10 list of Americans' concerns. In many cases, it's not even top 15 or 20. You know what is at the top? Inflation and immigration. And those are things that are rocking border states like Arizona. I've heard the same thing you guys have. Oh, Arizona's going to go blue because the Supreme Court ruled on abortion and whatever. No. Arizona people, according to the polls from Arizona, are far more concerned with immigration and the massive numbers of violent migrants and gang members in their towns than they are whether Sally can get rid of the kid that she chose to have via having unprotected sex.
Right. But on the flip side of that, though, the machine, the advertising machine, hasn't really gone all in on abortion yet. And while Arizona, which is close to the border, is going to obviously focus on immigration, could states like Wisconsin or Michigan, Pennsylvania, all swing states, have a little bit more, abortion-friendly, Democrat-friendly things going on once they start the advertising push?
Well, the problem is that once Trump actually gets to those states, as he's shown already, he's even more moderate on abortion than most European countries who have 12-week abortion bans. Yep. Donald Trump said that the states' rights issue, or he might consider a 16-week federal abortion ban, maybe. And there's not even any plan that congressmen have that I can find that shows that Republicans want to put an abortion bill up through the House of Representatives right now. So it just kind of falls flat because it's such an easy thing to smack down. I mean, the audio is like 2 seconds long, and it's Trump going, "Yeah, I'm not for that." And then there you go. That's pretty discredited.
What did you think of his statement, though? I mean, he got it from both ends. He got it from the Democrats and the Republicans about his proposed 15-week, states' rights, basically, is what he was saying. Every state should decide, which is what Roe v. Wade, pro-lifers have been working for decades to overturn Roe v. Wade. And Donald Trump comes out and says, no, I think it should be up to the states. But it was like, guys like Mike Pence smacked him on that. What did you think?
My hot take on this is that everyone wants to talk about political calculus. This is actually smart political calculus, but it's not really calculus. It's like basic arithmetic. Joe Biden is ostracizing the moderate bases of the Democrats and the Republicans, and he is playing to the extremely progressive leftist base. So Trump is actually moderating a lot of his positions to Republicans and even to some moderate Democrats in swing states and in swing districts in more blue states, and it's really working to his advantage. And everyone always forgets it's not who's the president, it's who he appoints to be the head of the different alphabet organizations. That's who runs the country. So if we can get a hand on the steering wheel and who he's appointing, it doesn't really matter. Trump says things like all the time. We've gone over this. So if he says something that I didn't particularly like or I didn't think is fiery enough, well, he said a lot of stuff in his first campaign that didn't end up being exactly in that fashion either.
Tony Kinnett with us, host of the Tony Kinnett Cast, Monday through Friday here at 93 WIBC. So you brought up the fact that the economy and inflation is going to be probably a much bigger topic than abortion a little bit earlier. Man, that inflation report that came out today, hotter than normal. And keep in mind, expectations weren't great for what this report was going to be, and it was still hotter than the expectations.
And this is after the Fed actually rose interest rates a little bit to try to combat this. And unfortunately now, we've reached the snowball rolling down the mountain phase, where unless you hike interest rates up between 15 and 25%, the U.S. economy is not going to recover from this, guys. There's no way to recover from massive inflationary debt spending like we've been doing and just expect that, the chickens aren't ever going to come home to roost. That isn't how that basic economics says that isn't happening. Biden is so desperate to just hold out until the end of the election, until the bottom of the U.S. economy falls out. And I got to be honest, while I think he may squeak it out to January 25, he also might not, because he's not in control of this big stampeding wildebeest anymore.
I like how he says that, well, look, inflation's better than it was a couple of years ago. That's the bar we're setting here.
Yeah. Hey, instead of 8 houses burning down in the neighborhood now, only 4 are burning. That's because 4 of them have already burnt all the way down. But yeah, good job.
But that's the oldest political trick in the book, right? We see Joe Hogsett and Ryan Mears do that with the crime numbers here in Indy. Well, it's gone down from the last couple of years. Mind you, the last couple of years was a record. And last time I checked, you're not supposed to set a record every single year.
Yeah, wow, there's nobody left to shoot. Good job, Ryan.
Tony Kinnett with us. You just took a little roadie up to Milwaukee. That's going to be the site of the RNC convention this year. What was that about?
So I'm supposed to go up there for a media walkthrough. Actually, we've just coordinated this with WIBC and the Daily Signal. We'll actually be doing my show, the Tony Kinnett Cast, up from Milwaukee in the RNC. We're having a whole set built, which is going to be a lot of fun. But more importantly, it's going to allow me to heckle people that I don't like. And that's really what everything is about.
Fantastic. So basically, you're going to be like one of those Muppets up in the balcony, just booing people all the time.
I say running for office. Absolutely.
How are you feeling about the new leadership of the RNC? I heard co-chair Laura Trump the other day talking about how we need to get out and vote early and ballot harvest where it's legal. And they're really pushing that agenda. What do you think of the new leadership?
So objectively, that's what I was calling for back when Ronald McDonald was running the party. And
McDaniel, I think.
Oh yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So in all seriousness, I think that the party, I was skeptical because obviously when I see the Trump name on there, I'm thinking, oh great, is this just going to be the get on your knees for Trump campaign? And I want to elect the most Republicans to Congress and to the presidency as possible, right? So when they churned out huge donor numbers, more than doubling the Clinton, Obama, Biden fundraiser in radio in New York, now I'm actually kind of cautiously optimistic. It's like, wow, she's saying the stuff about voting. They're raising the money. They're not being stupid. Okay, I can be cautiously optimistic. I'm still skeptical, but hey, let's see where it goes.
And cautiously optimistic, I think, is the right way to look at this because, on one hand, Donald Trump's always been pretty good at raising money, okay? But I don't think he's been very good at all about helping down ballot Republicans. And if you're the RNC, that money that you're raising is supposed to help everyone. Now, obviously, Trump and the big name Republicans are going to get a bigger chunk of it, but the down ballot Republicans have to get a little help too.
They do, and this is one of the reasons why I am concerned about some of the Republicans on the ballot in several states who are worried about things that are irrelevant to what the Republicans truly care about. And this is why in swing states, I think you're going to see some very interesting turnout selections in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Minnesota due to not necessarily RNC strategy, but just the utter incompetence of the DNC. I mean, recruiting far left wackos in Rust Belt Union territory is not working. Running like Senator Fetterman is now, where he's actually become kind of a moderate Democrat after his stroke, that's actually more successful. It's shocking to see them not play off of that.
Hey, can you stick around for one more break with us, Tony? Because I want to talk some trends with you if we can do that.
Absolutely.
All right. Tony Kennett is our guest. He's got a show coming on tonight at 7 o'clock. He's also an investigative reporter at the Daily Signal. He's coming right back. Don't go anywhere. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Did you know that April is Foot Health Awareness Month? Hi, this is Phoebe, and at the Good Feet store, we think every month you should be aware of your foot health. Your feet support everything you do. Why wouldn't you want to properly support your feet in return? Foot health starts with having great support in your shoes, and with a selection of over 300 different styles and sizes of arch supports, we can help you get back to wearing your nice dress shoes, stylish flats, or even sandals in comfort. Listen to Ava's real Good Feet story.
I love shoes. You find them in the store. They call you, but they hurt. The best ones hurt the worst. And you're walking around going, I don't want anyone to know that I'm not happy. Stuck in the arch supports, and I felt so much better. I'd say Good Feet help with all of my great shoes. They turned out to be something that actually works for me. My name is Ava, and that's my Good Feet story.
Don't overlook your feet. Make sure they get the care and attention they need so they can keep supporting you. Find the Good Feet store nearest you at goodfeet.com. We look forward to helping you find better foot health.
Business. It's all the things that keep this world turning. And behind every one of these companies is a partner helping to keep it all moving. It's why the local flower shop and your favorite pizza joint, the startup and the stadium, hospitals and hotels, banks and restaurants nationwide all choose the advanced network, cybersecurity solutions, and round-the-clock trusted partnership from Comcast Business, the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
See why Comcast Business powers more small businesses than anyone else. Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for $49 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract when you add one unlimited mobile line. Plus, ask how to get up to an $800 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call to switch today. Ends 5/6/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 100 megabits per second internet and security edge. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Hey, honey, take a look at this. I thought Chinese businesses buying up Indiana farmland was illegal.
Well, politician Chuck Goodrich voted for a special deal to let Chinese communist companies buy farmland.
Oh, I guess that's why they're calling him China Chuck.
Yeah, he also gave a sweetheart deal to another Chinese company to control Indiana land.
Oh, he really earned that name, China Chuck.
Worse, that Chinese company that Chuck Goodrich gave the deal to, President Trump banned it because it was a national security security threat.
Wow, I'm not voting for China Chuck Goodrich. He puts China first and Hoosiers last.
Remind me, who's China Chuck Goodrich running against?
It's Republican Victoria Spartz.
Oh, I love Victoria Spartz. She's an America First conservative. She stands with President Trump to finish the wall and defend our borders.
Oh, Victoria's got my vote.
I am Victoria Spartz, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Victoria Spartz for Congress.
PA Jewelers in Brownsburg is your place for fine jewelry, custom pieces, one-of-a-kind pieces, vintage pieces, and also your place to sell jewelry. 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg, PA Jewelers inside Premier Arms. You have old jewelry from grandma or jewelry you don't wear anymore? Come sell it for top dollar at PA Jewelers. I've sold jewelry there. My wife has. You're going to love the prices. PA Jewelers inside Premier Arms, 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg, premierarms.com.
Reach your fitness goals in 2024 with the 20-minute once-a-week program at Exercise Inc. 5 locations now in Fishers. Visit exerciseinc.com.
Car insurance too pricey? Get around town with affordable coverage. Stop compromising. Keep driving with Direct Auto. Get a free quote at directauto.com.
Indy's leader in patio installation is now offering a new driveway package. Schedule a free estimate today at indydecorativeconcrete.com. That's indydecorativeconcrete.com.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer, it is southbound 65 that is still stopped from 38th Kessler down to Meridian Penn, and we start moving around 21st Street. Westbound 70 still a mess from Arlington Avenue into the North Split. That delay continues down to Washington Street, where we had an earlier crash that has cleared. Eastbound 70 from the west side, stop Sam Jones Expressway into Harding Street, then stop and go traffic all the way into the South Split up to the Washington Street exit. South side, eastbound 465, stop and go from 70. We stop around Harding Street 69, then slow over to Arlington Avenue. Southbound 65, a little bit slow out of the interchange down to Thompson Road, but it clears up after that. And then in Lawrence, northbound 465 loaded up from 70 to 75th. Southbound 465, been a nightmare all day. Stop and go traffic. East 56 down to Brookville Road. It's a crash. Keystone Parkway at Carmel Drive. That's in the roundabout. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road, or on North Shadeland online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
59, light rain at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC. Back on the Hammer and Nigel show, I'm Jason Hammer. Big Nige is here.
Hey now.
And Tony Kennett, investigative reporter for the Daily Signal and the host of the Tony Kennett Cast, 7 o'clock here at 93 WIBC. Earlier today, we found out that the Attorney General Todd Rokita running for re-election, running one more time. He's certainly a lightning rod. He's one of those guys you either like or you can't stand, right? He's the Dallas Cowboys of Indiana politics. What do you think about the decision for Todd Rokita to run it back?
Scoreboard. That's it. That's my whole thought. Scoreboard. I mean, he hasn't been a bad AG. He upsets the Indiana left, which I find hilarious because I think Destiny Wells has run for every office now in the state but dog catcher, so best of luck to her. So good luck to him. I don't know. I think a lot of the complaints about him, maybe they're valid, but more so I really would have to say that I love how he upsets people. That tickles me.
What's coming up on the big show tonight?
Oh, we're mocking the student loan debt electric boogaloo sequel. Biden's going at it again.
That's coming up at 7 o'clock tonight, the Tony Kennett Cast. That is Tony Kennett. Tonus, thank you, man.
Thanks, guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Rape, murder, and human trafficking. We've all read the stories of the evil crossing this border. I'm Mike Speedy, running for Congress in Indiana. So why am I at the U.S.-Mexican border? Truth is, Biden's failures put every town at risk. Drugs and criminal cartels are pouring in while politicians do nothing. I've witnessed the unused materials for Trump's wall and visited with law enforcement on the front line of this invasion. I am running for Congress because it's time that we have leaders who will join President Trump to finish this wall, send troops to stop this invasion, and secure our southern border once and for all.
Mike Speedy is an America First conservative leader.
Speedy has endorsed Donald Trump because he knows we must return President Trump to the White House to secure our border. And Mike Speedy is the pro-life, pro-Second Amendment champion we can count on to protect our values and keep us free.
I'm Mike Speedy. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Speedy for Congress.
That moment when you realize you've got a plumbing problem, a real pipe-bursting, clogged-up tight, somebody get all the towels, full-on flush fiasco. But fear not, there's an expert for that.
Trust your local plumbing experts at Broad Ripple Service Experts and save $50 off any plumbing repair.
Plumbing problemos? There's an expert for that.
Call Broad Ripple Service Experts at 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
Fellas, there's a lot of people talking about testosterone, but do your homework and go to a provider that you can trust. We recommend Low T Center to get your levels checked. At Low T Center, they make it quick and easy. You walk in and take a simple blood test, and you'll get your results back in about 25 minutes.
If you've been feeling tired, grumpy, have noticed weight gain and loss of muscle mass, you may have low T levels. Go to lowtcenter.com and book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Waiting on a tax return? Hopefully it ends up in your hands. Fraudulent tax returns due to identity theft increased by 30% in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Our U.S.-based restoration specialists are experts dedicated to helping solve your identity theft issues. And all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package. So we'll reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. Help protect your information this tax season with LifeLock. Save up to 25% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
Let Bill Estes put you behind the wheel of the powerhouse brands that define American toughness. Ford, Chevy, Ram, and GMC.
Right now, get up to $10,000 off new 2023 Ford F-150 XLT models.
Unleash the power of the road with Bill Estes Trucks. Find the location near you and see their inventory at BillEstesTrucks.com.
All rebates and incentives included in final discount. Excludes tax, title, and other fees. Stock number BFB 231021. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for details. Offer ends April 30th, 2024.
Indiana Pathways for Aging helps Hoosier Medicaid members age 60 and over get support at no additional cost to live life their way.
Mom's Parkinson's is progressing, and Pathways provides in-home support so she can be with family every day.
Pathways coordinates Medicaid and Medicare services. I'm getting help with meals, personal care, and transportation.
One day, I might choose a nursing home, but today, I have options with Pathways.
Eligible members can select a plan now. Call 87-PATHWAY-4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
If you love spring in Indy but hate the paint, do what Lynn did. She called Rhino Shield.
It is a single-wide manufactured home. We moved from our home, which we had the Rhino Shield on. Rhino Shield was what we were going to do. That was no question. We knew we were going to do it.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating. It's not paint, it's better.
The Rhino Shield representative came, and we discussed what we wanted done. And this time, we had the roof done as well.
Now, you can have the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
Even the people that have been a little younger than us have said they don't have to worry about getting just an everyday painter because Rhino Shield has the 25-year warranty, and we truly believe in this product.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here for Hope Plumbing. April showers can bring plumbing downers. Don't get caught in a flood this spring. Make sure your sump pump is working properly.